It's Mo and Mike in the house. Going hard with the legends. Paying homage, you know. Yo. Twins Mo and Mike, we running this game. Legends in the making, never gonna be the same. Kennels popping hard, these game dogs raised right. The brat, pretty mama, they shining so bright. LaMayday, what a day, they breathe the heat. Red Ruby L-Rod, they can't accept defeat. With 38 special and yellow bird, we top tier champions, grand champions, ain't no fear.
Run the register of merit, we got the elite. Mayday bug Jeep, yellow Frisco, feel the beat. Females like Honeybunch and awesome, baby, we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk about it. We the real deal, you know it's no doubt about it.
KPTO, the modern Earl Tudor. Got in the pack, making moves like a tutor. APT, family thick, like legends in the game. Legend of them, Triple M. Shout out the name, Deep South, Roadblock. We upholding tradition. Mama, Southern Kennels, we got that ambition. Hardcore hitters, Stone City brings the fire. The Abrahams, the fam lifting us higher.
Run the register of merit, we got the elite. Mayday bug Jeep, yellow Frisco, feel the beat. Females like Honeybunch and awesome, baby, we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk, be about it. We the real deal, you know it's true, no doubt about it.
Listen up, respect the hustle, respect the grind. Being Nate Dogg, putting in work intertwined. Keeping that legendary status alive, you feel? Don't hate on the ride, catch the bus, we keep it real. What's history without a future? We pay the way, cat. We make it happen, that's the play.
So here's to the champions, run the race, stand tall. Twins Mo and Mike, we gon' answer the call. Legends in the game, yeah, we holding it down. In the world of game dogs, we wearing the crown.
Run the register of merit, we got the elite. Mayday bug Jeep, yellow Frisco, feel the beat. Females like Honeybunch and awesome, maybe we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk, be about it. We the real deal, you know it's true, no doubt about it.
Shout out to Ohio Cash, the man with the plan, Rastaman Boom, Schoolboy, aka the.
There's levels to this game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Rob.
Better know my head, but don't talk about it, be about it. That's the code we live in the game with them pit bulls. See the proof and how to give from the pit to the trophies. Every chain, every game. Don't talk about it, be about it. Be about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the code we live in the game with them pit bulls. See the proof and how to give from the pit to the trophies. Every chain, every game. Don't talk about it, be about it. Be about it. Most wanted Kennels in the spotlight, danger alert, come with the name. Super Kennels competition, all built for the fame. Work Kennels was the work and work, while Cherokee kept the game strong. Evolution built a bloodline, where the heart come from. These dogs ain't hype, they the truth in the pit. Every pedigree stamp, when them paws hit the street, ain't no fairy tales. This that real y'all grit. Don't Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the pit bull script. Shout the brothers with the backbone thick. Veer brothers, color brothers, Bishop brothers legit. They don't talk about it, they be about it every day. Put the work in and y'all let the results say. Them boys on the rise, yeah, the circle stay tight. Plow boys, wall boys, Havana boys in the fight. Different flags, same grind, same fire, same spit. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the litmus test.
Yeah, legs in the doom, behind set tone. Locked tight, locked in, carved in stone. Church boys hold it with the pit bull gauge. Fruit colors on man, Sean B in the maze. Arsenal gang deal, but your knife stay sharp. Only in America, walk them down Ram in the dark. DSK and Metal High Dog, pound by hard. When they hit, praise to the men who rock this shit.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah, they live it.
Fat boy the legend, Lil Buster real strong. Southern bulldog, keep the bloodline long. Latin force pressure, sniper don't miss. Shaded day, shaded with a killer instinct. Twist, super night power, unit whole rank. Boot camp, click hitting like a Sherman tank. Little fine with the vision. Tennessee dog pound, got their eyes on the pit. All legendary, really the shit. Don't talk about it, be about it. Yeah, they built it brick by brick. Talk about it, yeah, they built it brick by brick. Talk about it, yeah, they built it brick by brick. Talk about it, don't talk about it, be about it. Don't talk about it. That's the yard law, from the pups to the legends. Everybody stand tall. Every name on this track got a story that's lit. Don't talk about it, be about it.
Every name on this track got a story that's lit.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Call this some legendary pit bullshit, 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 pit bullshit.
Yeah, we in the trenches, feel that hunger in the air.
Yeah. Welcome to the yard. If you're tough, you can stare. Yeah, welcome to the yard. Where the chain spots shine, bloodlines run deep, every pedigree's prime. The game APBT, worldwide pride. You come correct, or stay the hell outside, legacy made. We grind, we hustle. Twin bosses, Mo and Mike locked in the scuffle. Yeah, we run the yard, iron fists and grit. When the sun comes up, no, we never gon' quit. Udo and Zebo, legends carved in stone. Patrick Bolio made the yard they home. Tanned and yellow, they whisper through the trees. Echoes of greatness, feel that legacy breeze. Going hard, going hard. Yeah, we run this yard, nothing but the best. We don't play it soft, bloodline stack heavy, 52 waist strong in this dog eat dog world. We know where we belong. The yard where greatness prevail. Pressure creates knowledge and hard work. It's how history bakes. All on the fucking deal. Pressure creates knowledge and hard work. It's how history bakes.
Tails in the dirt. Every chain spot turn, lessons learned hard. Like the scars we earn, no shortcuts taken. Champions ain't bought, just blood and sweat. This legacy taught from Mayday to Ace, Buck to G. Every warrior counts, we ain't losing no sleep. Heat like a furnace, knowledge is the key. In the yard we trust, we got the pedigree. Feel the intensity, blaze in the fight. In the shadows of the yard, we rewrite the night. From the ring to the chain, we like kings cut out. Mo and Mike, every victory's what we shout. Going hard, going hard. Yeah, we run this yard, nothing but the best. We don't play it all, bloodline stacked heavy, 52 waist strong in this dog eat dog world. We know where we belong, the yard in the dirt. Yeah, knowledge and hard work. It's how history bakes. Y'all in the dirt. Yeah, knowledge and hard work. It's how history bakes. Yeah, legacy in the dirt. Yeah, to that fame. The game APBT. Remember the name, so step back. If you can't handle the heat, the yard's going hard. Put the game on repeat. It's Mo and Mike. Kings in this game, going hard. Kennels forever reign the same, nigga.
What up? What up? What's up? Y'all know what time it is. It's Talk Shit Tuesday. Big shout out to everybody out there in the Shark Tank. Big shout out to all my people out there on the back street. What up? Big shout out to my main man, Talk of the City, Kennels in the house. What up? Bam! Tall stranger in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man, Mr. Alfred Johnson. What up, fam? Everybody seeing thing. Oh my gosh. Everybody see her thing by Select. Man, I just butchered that. Hey, I see you, fam. Hey, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button. What else we got in here? Big shout out to my main man, Mr. Chico Nicholas. What up, fam? Yo, my main man, Mr. Carlos Lee in the house. What up? Bam! Big shout out to my main man, Mr. Paul Johnson. Longtime supporter, the one and only Mr. David Morse in the house. What up, fam? Yo, my man. Havoc 360 in the house. What up? Bam! DeCarrion Mincy in the house. What up, fam? The one and only, the incomparable, the Mad Doctor. What up, fam? Big shout out to my main man, Kalingnago Kennels, a.k.a. Beer Bulldogs in the house. What up, fam? What's that guy here? Going down my list. Yo, big shout out to my main man, Mr. John Dimbry. What up, fam? What's that guy? Yo, big shout out to my man, Mr. Will Turner in the house. What up? Bam! Yo, big shout out to my mans in there, Mr. William Torres. What up, fam? Big shout out to Rabbit Man Kennels in the house. What up? Bam! Appreciate everybody for showing up, showing out tonight. Big shout out to all my peeps out there on the back street. Y'all don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button. Hey, appreciate everybody for showing up. Before we get started, man, look, I put the link out there for anybody who want to hit that link. All right. You know, if anybody got any gripes, want to get in something off their chest, let me know ahead of time so we can stay on point tonight. You know, something I noticed, man, Mo was talking and he was telling me about, you know what, man? Out of all these, you know, the years has gone by, you know, I ain't find too many champion or grand champion ROM females. And I was kind of like looking at the situation and be like, no, I never really paid attention to that because, you know, this game go long. You know, it's been around for such a long time. And that's why I wanted to put that link out there, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to miss nobody. You know, we lost a journal back in, I think, in 2000, for me anyway, 2000, I think it was 8. But actually, a lot of guys stopped reporting back in 2004. So pretty much that's why we be sticking to the last list we can remember. But if anybody have any females that were champions or grand champions, you know what I'm saying? And we're ROMs, register of marriage. Y'all put them up tonight because we don't know everything, but then we're going to be looking for some participation because we're going to try to understand and find out for the females who actually was able to achieve such a feat, because we all know Honeybunch. But, you know, that ROM and being a good match dog, female, they're hard to find. So I would appreciate if anybody have any to put them up, because we're going to pull them up, because what we're trying to do is just lock it down and see, you know, for the ones that did make it, what they actually produce and if they had anything that's in common. You know, because we always talk about the traits, that ROM trait. Now, like for us, you know, Mo didn't breed, wasn't really into breeding, like mom and them, they didn't get bred until after their championships. And he was kind of hard on that type of shit because dogs like Bebe, Bebe was a badass bitch. I'm gonna just tell y'all this now. But Bebe was too valuable based on her breeding to match. But she was a badass dog. But you know, he made the decision. No, this is gonna be the brood bitch. And I think she could have won 3 because she was that serious. Who else I think it could have did? I think this shit could have did it. You know, but Mo was so stuck on, you know, he wasn't breeding nothing until, you know, for our females, you know, if they were going to the box, then they wouldn't be able to see a breeding program until after we was done. So it's amazing how many females we had out here and how hard it is to find champion and grand champion ROM bitches. So I look for y'all to be chiming in and doing all that good shit. Let me see who else. I got anybody else in here. I don't know where Mo went. All right, Mo, you there? Hey, Mo. Guess he ain't there yet.
Yeah, I'm here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead and shout them out, man. You already know what we're fixing to do here.
Big shout out to everybody. What's up? What up? Let's see. Yeah, 9 as of yet. No female champion, grand champion. Oh, well. Yeah, there's one. There's one on that list that ain't on there. I can tell y'all that. There's one on there. And she was the grand champion off of Mayday. She made it all women. You know, so I'll throw her up there tonight. That was one we forgot. But, yeah, Mayday had another grand champion. Female that made all women. That'd be an interesting. I'm gonna save her to the end and just go over the ones that we know that the journal had. Yeah, Hands Candy. We'll look her up, but I don't know if she made it all women. You know, we'll check that out though. But she was back there in the back in the day where she should have been on that. She could have been recorded if she did it. That's for damn sure. I got somebody.
I see my man William Turner put up one. Big shout out to my man J Rock. What up, fam? Hey, you writing them numbers down, man? Or you want me to do it? Yeah. Let me see who else out here. I want to make sure I ain't miss nobody. Big shout out to my man Horsepower 99 too. What up, fam? See, my man Tall Stranger said Candy was not a ROM. So
that's true. That's true.
Okay.
I'll check out this other one while y'all talking about it.
You know, when I put that list up, man, you know, I just grabbed a hand, you know, what you told me. So that list was not a very long list. You know what I mean, man?
It's not. No. It's not. There was no grand champions on that list as far as females, was it?
Well,
no grand champion females.
Yeah, because we couldn't find them.
I found one. I forgot about them. Remember them boys that used to run with Most Wanted?
Yeah, you talk about them. What was they called? DK something. I know it started with a D.
Yep, they had that grand champion red bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she Mayday had one bred to out of the Mayday Blondie breeding, that daughter Diana. Yeah, she had a registered mare, grand champion bitch. Yeah, that Stone City Mayday cross. She was really the only one that really produced some dogs. Really out of that breeding. Remember Bebe? She's really one of the only ones that really produced out of the Stone City outside of that bitch there.
My man Kalinago Kennels said Candy produced multiple grand champions and multiple champions. You gonna pull her up though, right, Mo?
Yeah, I'll pull her up.
Okay.
She come from back in our day. Grand Champion Candy was back in our day.
Okay. Big shout out to my man, Mr. Derek Lockett in the house. What up, fam? Yo, my man, the insane honey badger in the house. What up, fam?
Well, the number that they pulled up, she was a registered mare, but she wasn't a grand champion.
Who, Candy?
Nuh-uh.
Okay.
We're talking about the number they gave me.
Okay.
She was only a two-time winner.
We're talking about 465-413
Yes,
Will Turner. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
She didn't hit the list, huh?
Nope. She has to be a champion.
Okay. Hey, you need to jump on that.
Though. Good try. I'm gonna check on Candy though.
Yeah, you need to check on that Candy situation.
Yeah, she was back in our time, you know.
Hey, y'all don't forget to hit that like button. She was rough too. I heard she was rough.
I know she produced Happy Jack, Champion Cowgirl. She didn't need but three. I think she had 3 too. I think they may be right on that. Yep.
Well, you know the Shark Tank.
Champion Brandy, Grand Champion Happy Jack, and Champion Zebo. Lead Grand Champion Candyman and lead Champion Cowgirl.
Pull her up then, bro.
Okay, well, we're going to take a peek at her. Yeah, we're going to start off with these Grand Champion bitches first. We'll take a look at it. Okay, hold on, guys. This right here first. Okay, here we go.
Big shout out to my man Pitwise TV in the house. What up, fam?
Okay, she should be on the screen. Okay, guys, there she goes. That's Grand Champion Candy. Looks like we got one. Grand Champion female, first Grand Champion recognized by the Sporting Dog Journal. See, that's the throw off right there. See, that's the throw off. Because she was the first Grand Champion female recognized with at the Sporting Dog Journal. You know how old that would have to be? That means that she was before Grand Champion Queen of Heart. She was before Tornado. She was before a whole bunch of dogs, y'all. You know what I'm saying? All right, now. This didn't live forever. I bet she didn't have all the matches registered with the journal. This might be a disqualification, because she wanted to be on that list back during the time that the journal was very active. Very, very active. Shouldn't have been no reason why him, Grand Champion Happy Jack, should have been in the journal. I'm pretty sure Grand Champion Candyman was. And we'll check on Champion Cowgirl. You know, let me see. Aunt Candy was the only female in her litter. The only female now. Let's check her out.
I want to give a big shout out to my man, Mr. Vladimir Irvin in the house. What up, fam?
We're going to go check on Candy's offspring. You know, we find her in a lot of great dogs' pedigree, that's for sure. But she was the first Grand Champion recognized. We got Hard Rose Candy, Brandy. We got grand champion Happy Jack. We got champion Cowgirl. And we got Candyman. And then we got Zebo off of Art. That's all of them. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to check the champion list and see which ones ain't on there back in our time, okay? Just give me a hot second. Y'all marinate on that and let me do some verifying. Our girl champion Brandy should have been in the journal coming off of Zebo. Cowgirl coming off of Midnight Cowboy, and Candyman, she's coming off Cowboy. That should be in the journal. Happy Jack should be in the journal, so we'll just check and see.
Want to give a big shout out to my man, Mr. Paris Jackson's in the house. What up, fam? Long time no see. Big shout out to my man, Mr. Rock Solid in the house. What up, fam? Man, I don't even know why you would even question Beer and Bulldogs, a.k.a. Calypso Kennels, Kalingnago Kennels. Hey, if y'all haven't subscribed to that man's channel, make sure y'all get over there. Beer and Bulldogs. You know how to do it. Pop it in the search. Get on because he be getting it on. Some real nice interviews and real informative. Big shout out to the man. Let's see who else I got here. What's I got like that? Yeah, one thing you can that bitch was bred well, and they bred her to the right shit too, though. You notice?
Yes, sir. Well, I know for one, Candyman, it was not in there. I think I'm checking to make sure, see if he was a champion or not. But he was not in the yearbook of grand champions, okay?
How old is your book, man? 2000 what?
I mean, Hands grand champion Candy was before she was recognized in the journal. And she was the first grand champion female in the journal. You know how long ago that was?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, we have a problem in Houston on that one.
Yeah, but they still breeding the dogs like Cowboy and shit. Now it can't be all that damn far back, bro.
It is that far back. Cowboy was that far back too.
Yeah. Okay.
We got Zebo and all them. Yeah, they was before Queen and them.
Okay.
So yeah, they go pretty far back. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, we looking at we don't have Candyman in the champion category. We're missing Candyman in the journal. And we check on Cowgirl. Cowgirl made it to the journal. She was the champion. There you one. Neither one of the grand champions showed up. Adam's champion Candy. She was a champion. Happy Jack, he didn't show. Let me see about Happy Jack. Let me see if he was at least a champion. Because he wasn't on the grand champion list. Yeah, Happy Jack was a champion, not a grand champion.
Based on the journal, fellas. Based on the journal.
Well, back then, the point is, where this dog was is back there in the back. There was no reason why these dogs shouldn't have been in the journal. That's the point I'm making. You know, anything past 2007 and 8, we can give them a pass. But Hands Candy and Happy Jack, he was a champion. They had, I think Cowgirl was a champion. Candyman not showing up. But there was a grand, you see, Grand Champion Candy is not even on the list as far as Grand Champions either. Let me see, let me make sure.
What about Champion Hargrove's Brandy?
Okay, let me check. I'm looking now. No Champion Brandy Falls Hargrove Brandy. We have Murray's Brandy, Golden Bullet Kennels Brandy, City Street Kennels Brandy. That's the 3 brandies. The Champion Brandy didn't make the list. Okay. Let me check on Happy Jack.
Big shout out to my man Pitwise TV. He said, "Coolin' it, fellas. This Big Mike from Pitwise. Y'all know my brother Ant from Pitwise. I'm new to the internet, this internet shit. Well, thank you for stopping by, Big Mike. Appreciate having you, fam. Don't let this be your last time, fam."
Yeah, we got Happy Jack. He was a champion. They had done Lords and Garner's champion, Happy Jack.
Well,
you know, we in there, but there's no Grand Champion Candyman. I mean, not Grand Champion Candyman. No Champion Candyman. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't.
Hey, did you find enough to pull out the ROM part?
No, I didn't find the 3. I got Champion Candy. Not on the Grand Champion in here.
My man Tall Stranger said, "In my opinion, Candy will be a POR, not a ROM."
Yeah, I would take that. I would take that. Yeah, I would take that. But not on the Grand Champion list, my friends. I would let me look here. We got them the males. And remember, there is no Grand Champion females. Okay? Remember, that was the part of our show. There's only one Grand Champion female that I did find. And that was that DK, that Grand Champion red bitch. She was a Grand Champion of Registered Merit.
Pull her up, Mo. That's the only Grand Champion we're gonna be talking about tonight on the ROM list. What?
That's because back then, all the way up to 2004, there was no Grand Champion females that was on the Register of Merit list. None. They were all champions.
Okay,
let me pull up the one. Y'all hold on to that right there, and I'll stop sharing it once I get this other bitch up. Okay. I get back to change her up. Yeah. Remember, that's what the show was about when we couldn't, the champion bitches.
I know. My man, Mr. Will Turner said, "A lot of that BST stuff, Champion Dirty Jersey, ROM is one of his favorites." That's another one to take a look into too, Mo. Put that on your little checklist.
Okay. Hey, tell me some of that Dirty Jersey one. That number, if you got it.
Nah, he didn't put it up. He just put the name up there. You want me to look? You want me to, what? You keep doing what you're doing. I'll see if I can find it. All right.
Okay. Let's see if I get this bitch up here.
Big shout out to my man, Champion Knuckles in the house. Welcome to the Shark Tank, fam. Champion Knuckles. He said, "Wood Champion Miss Pooh Red ROM."
Yeah, you would have thought Miss Pooh Red would have been on there too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was back in that time too, man. So I mean, come on. And I know she produced something. She ain't on the list, Mo. There's flaws in your list, man.
It was also a 2004 edition. It's also interesting by Jack Kelly. It's an interesting thing that there is no female has ever won both titles, champion, grand champion. As a matter of fact, of the 40 bitches listed on the all-realm list, only 5 have been champions. Champion Honeybunch, champion Catfish, champion Little Bit, champion Bad Becky, and champion Maggie. And that's all the way up as of 2003. Okay. Gentlemen, and that's in the journal. I got all the champions and grand champions all the way up to 2003 and 4. Okay, let me see if I can get this right here. Okay, here's the only grand champion that I found. That was a registered marriage. She was off of Mayday. Okay, did she show up yet? Okay, she should be coming.
Yeah, she's up there. She up there. I see her.
Okay, that's the only grand champion there, fellas.
She up there.
But she came in. This bitch came in around the same time as Luca won her grand championship. These boys was down there with Evolution, y'all. So, you know what I mean? They were down there with Evolution. I think them boys from Most Wanted started getting their dogs from these guys. These guys were the guys that led them to us. When they bought Madame. Most Wanted bought Madame and took her and bred her to Graveyard. Graveyard, remember, was Evolution, was off of that a Stone City Mayday cross. And Madame was off of May 2 bred back to Brack. And that's where Grand Champion Ruby Red came from. Red Ruby came from. Let me pull up, show a pedigree where y'all can see it here. Let me move it around a little bit.
Yeah, you got to move that down, man, so we can see what she bred.
I'm trying to. Hold
on. Big shout out to my man, Small Time Kennels in the house. What up, fam? Yo. Big shout out to my main man, my brother from another mother, Simplify, the one and only Pit Dog in the house. What up, fam?
Oh, man, come on. Hold on, Mike. I'm trying to get this thing moving.
Oh, some of them windows, bro.
I don't think it's the windows, bro.
Okay.
I'm trying to slide it down.
It ain't moving.
I can't get it to move, man. I'm trying to show them how she bred. My screen is open, but I can't get it to move. Let's see here. Oh, Can't get it to move.
Let's see.
I know it's Mayday off of Diana, guys. I'm trying to get it to move. I don't know why she's not moving. Let me make it smaller here. Hold on. No. Man, I can't believe this. Shit, I can't get the damn thing.
He done blanked out. Hold on. I'm working on it, fellas. He done blanked out on me. Hold on. Got it right here.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Got lost up in the bull.
I got it though, bro.
Okay, you got it. There you go. Thank you.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you can see that now, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's her breeding right there. Yeah, her and Grand Champion Luca was out about the same time. You see, Diana's up for Mayday and Blondie. And they got her being bred back to Mayday. Now, you push on her offspring, you know, you'll see the champions that she produced. It said this was the best 47-pounder in the world. Said to be the hardest biting dog, sired by Grand Champion Mayday. 8 contract wins. 7 of the wins didn't go over 35 minutes. And one of her 8 wins was into Champion Hunting that went 1 hour and 45. It's still a Mayday Stone City cross, y'all. And I can see him biting hard because Mayday did have a mouth. You know, Mayday had a mouth. Brad had a mouth. Well, you know, I contribute rats to Red Ace on top of Mayday. Both for Mayday and Little Mayday bit hard. But so did Mayday. So did Choice. I mean, not Choice, but Chanel. She had a nice mouth. Matter of fact, she looked like Brat, don't she though? Just a big size Brat. She ain't tall like Brat was. Look at her weight. That bitch was 53 pounds on the chain, a 47-pound match dog. That's a big bitch. But Mike, what's on the offspring?
Hold on. Hold on. Let me get to it right quick.
Okay.
Offspring.
Yeah.
There they go.
That's Mayday had 3. That would make Mayday with 3 grand champions. 4. Luke Kane, Barracuda, and Haunch. She would be the only female grand champion out of all of Mayday's daughters. Like, you can make your screen a little bigger, man. Make it a little bigger. Well, you know, just inside the view.
Yes. Let me see. That better?
There you go. You got a grand champion, most wanted grand champion Santana. There's the grand champion bitch right there. She had what's that, DDK Laila, a 4-time winner. That champion Bam Bam, a 3-time winner. And then they got Bam Bam Jr., 4-time winner. And then they got this I would say, they got him down here, the 10-time winner. But I don't see a name. I don't see no name. I know it's great. It's Global Takeover Amadou.
Yeah, I'm gonna click on him.
Okay. But they showing no name there. He might get scratched with no name. He might get scratched.
Yeah, the pair online is working off of slow right now, Carl.
Yeah. But we're gonna go into what we do have. We know Honeybunch. We're gonna look at Catfish. We're gonna look at Catfish. Okay, that was 1 grand champion. Don't forget.
Hold on, man. Oh no. Oh yeah, you go ahead. I pulled up your girl because hold on. She was bred almost like old girl in them was. Red Ruby.
Yeah. What she was off of Mayday bred to Sarah Kell breeding. The Romel Buck champion Romel Buck Little May's sister. Bred to Mayday. You notice when they bred the Mayday to the Stone City shit, it did click. You know, you look at Macho Buck being bred to 357. You know, anytime you was crossing that yellow and that buck stuff close like that, it was producing some good stuff. Okay. Now that was the only grand champion that I found.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody else is journal verified. We can go out to champion Catfish money.
You still working over there, or you want to try it again?
Yeah, I'll try it again. Get me back in there.
Let me give a big shout out to my man. Bite down and shake that like button. The one and only Double M. Despo's in the house. What up, fam?
And that just show you with all the breedings being made, you know what I mean? Just to think all them damn match dogs, you know, it would be hard to find a good grand champion now. See, like they got champion Catfish as a grand champion here. But that's hope. I'm not looking for hope. I'm looking for Catfish. I'll be right with you guys. I'm trying to find her pedigree.
Which one are you looking for? Catfish?
Yes, sir. Nobody must didn't like her because where's her pedigree? Her pedigree should be able to show up.
I'm noticing Pairs Online is running slow as heck.
It's been running slow for over a week now.
Wow. Why are you doing that? Still loading over here. I guess everybody been having problems with that, Mo.
Oh yeah, it's been running slow for quite some time. Y'all crowding up the internet with the shit. Okay, I think I got one. I got her. My thing is just to look at them, not a lot of them. All the years, all the matching dogs here. Hey, Mike, is it on your screen yet?
Nope.
Okay, it will be, our number is 2084.
Hold on.
And you can tell this is an old breed here. She got died, but this is, you'll find her in the 1972 to 83 Book of Champions.
Yeah, it's running slow as heck, Mo. I wanted to get back to that Eli bitch we were looking at. Hold on.
Yeah, I know when I hit the window, I can't control it with the window.
Here you go.
Okay,
You see it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, now that's Champion Catfish. She's one of the registered emeritus in the journal. One of actually 5 champion bitches that made all win. We know Honeybunch is definitely on the list. She's number 1, been number 1 forever. You got Zebo in the 3rd generation, y'all. Double bred Zebo in the 3rd generation. So you know this bitch is old. But you'll find her in the 72 Book of Champions. She was one of them first ones that was in the journal. So check out her offspring. Like, you gonna hit her offspring?
Oh, thought I did already. Should be up.
Okay.
What's up?
I can't control it on my end. Okay,
I got it.
We got Grand Champion Hope. That's 2 points right there. She's the Grand Champion. Then you got Wilson's Tuppy. And then you got Fowler's Bad Ronnie. So she made all win. She got 4 points. She got 2 for Grand Champion Lewis Hope. She got a point for Tuffy, and she got 1 for Bad Ronnie. Coming down off of Little Reno, Tuffy coming down off of Tombstone, and and Hope came off of Tombstone. Not bad.
Now.
Now, just imagine, guys, with all the breeding that be going on out here, and throughout all the years, and I'm talking about BB Red. I mean, a lot of grand champion. I can't say it's a lot of grand champion bitches because it really ain't. It really is not a lot of grand champion bitches. Jack actually made a comment about that too. There's a lot of them out there, a lot of champions, but males, but there wasn't a lot of grand champion females. You had grand champion Candy. She was one of them, but she wasn't all of them. She was the grand champion. And you would think 9 Millie, she didn't make the list. There's a lot of grand champions on here. I mean, compared to the males, nowhere close. There was 32 total grand champion females throughout the history of the dog game.
Champion
and then you got to add grand champion Luca. She's not on the list, which we know that she was the grand champion. And that grand champion, what was that dog's name? Red.
Yep.
Yeah, Red. Yeah, she was the grand champion. So that would be 34, and then you got double grand champion Tornado. A total of 35 grand champions in the history of the dog game of females.
You didn't you didn't count Ruby Red, did you? Red Ruby.
Didn't I say? I didn't say her. Oh,
No.
okay. Okay, then that would be. What I said, 34 to 35. 35.
Okay.
35, and then double grand champion Tornado. Now, that's not a lot of grand champion bitches, y'all. I mean, considering the males, we got over 100 something down there. They up there. There's a lot of grand champion males. And this goes all the way up to 2004. 2004.
Want to give a big shout out to my man out there, Melee Montana TV in the house. What up, fam? Yo, GDHC11. What up, fam?
Okay, our next one, Mike, would be Dream Team's champion a little bit. You want me to pull her up and give you the number?
Yeah.
She was the registered mare.
She was a champion?
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty.
That would be LA Dream Team's champion a little bit. Let me see. I'm still working on finding her. These are these old dogs here, man. We got to dig in and find these. Not LA and the Dream Team. Okay.
I was just looking at these first couple breedings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know the first one we had the Eli shit. This shit here, this is a straight, let me see. Old girl, she's straight Dibo.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is old when you got Dibo in the third generation now.
Yeah. Super.
That's old. You got Dibo in the first generation. Okay, a little bit gonna be 777. Okay, 775-397.
Hold on. Run that back. You got 3 7s?
No, 2 7s. 775.
775.
397.
I'm putting it up now.
Oh, she's a Stephanie Sorrell. Now, that should give, if I was a breeder, I would be scratching my head if I was a breeder, because it sure as hell don't look like it's an easy task. If it ain't been happening all these damn years, it's not a common thing. That's for damn sure.
See that pedigree? What's up there now?
Okay, she's up with the champion gator son. So champion gator son. You got it up, Mike? Let me check.
What'd you say, Mo?
Yeah, she's up with champion gator son. Yeah,
Let me
that's
put up
a
Offspring.
Yeah, go to Offspring. But that's a nice breed. That's a nice breed, though. I mean, look at all the all-rounds and that shit. I see 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they got pistol downs on all round, that's like the record right there. 5 all rounds. I've only ever seen, this is the first time I've ever seen 5. I know 4 for a fact with Luke Kane and Kuda. Can't say too much about that number. I know Pistol, he definitely registered mare. Boomerang was a registered mare.
Hey, Mo.
Yes, sir.
No offsprings in that list right there on that pedigree.
Okay. Well, she's definitely on the registered mare list as a champion. And she's a registered mare by way of the journal. We'll see if she got some siblings.
Nope. And ain't on that one either. Might have to finally try another number.
Yeah, I will have to go through the soul shit because it's the way they got all these stars on here. You know what I'm saying? All them stars and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't a good look. See if we can find something cleaner. I'll check this one here out. Give me a hot second here. It's loading up. But that's still hard as hell though to produce one. Yeah, go to 13700.
All of that is continuing.
Well, one damn thing you can definitely say. They wasn't using. No wonder everybody kept them brood bitches around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's really the brood bitches that do it. To me, it's always been the breeders, the guys that's taking their bitches to these males. You know, whether it's being done on the yard or somebody going out to make the stare feed or making that breed. That person with that bitch in heat is the builder of the dog game. Whether it's the breeder on the yard or it's the breeder going out taking this shit to making them breed. You know what I'm saying? And as you can tell throughout the history, and I don't think the history should be doing much better because the dogs are not as you know, there's not that many dogs and there's not that many matches as compared to what was going on back then in our time. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these lists, you know, have been stuck on the same. Now we have added a lot more dogs to Mayday. We added a couple more dogs to Luke Kane because he got straws out there. You know what I'm saying? He got a couple straws out there, but Even in him, Barracuda got more registered mare points than Luke Kane. Shoot. Barracuda's above Luke Kane. Luke Kane is right up under Barracuda. And it's hard to get those kind of breedings in. But if you look at like this one right here, champion, grand champion. You know what I mean? Lloyd Gator wasn't a registered mare. I did not find him on my registered mare list. Just letting you know.
I'm putting up another little bit, all right?
Okay, well, this one right here, what's the offspring? Hit this one's offspring. You got that 13700?
Yep.
Okay, go to offspring. And we'll see if she got some registered mares in there because in the journal, she's a registered mare.
You see it?
Oh, here, let me check.
They got
you notice do y'all notice the Carver shit though? Like Carver's pistol, Carver's misspike. You see a lot of that. Only one I see is LA Dream Team's Little Heen. Unless you got another one to throw up there, Mike. But she is a Sporting Dog Journal champion. Champion registered mare. And the way Jack got it, she's number 3. She's number 3 on the list.
Yeah, I see Jack got one. That Wood Susie. That was Jack's.
Yeah, she wasn't no cheap.
Right. Well, I only see one.
Yeah, but I only see one. Well, I'll check the journal because, you know, when I get a chance, I'll check the journal and do a back check. I got the 3000, I got the 1972-83. We'll see if we can hunt it down. I'll bring her back later. But she's definitely one of them bitches listed. Hey, we go to the Can-Am boys. We'll move on to the Can-Am, We'll move on to the Can-Am boys. Bad Becky, she's another champion.
My man Carlos Regas said a little bit with ROM, I think about 3 or 4 points.
Yeah, she actually had 3. You're right.
Big shout out to my man Constant Trauma Kennels in the house. What up, fam?
But just to think of it though, you know, look how hard that is though. With all the puppies and the shit being bred out here, you know what I'm saying? And that was back in the time when the shit was plentiful. That just show you how hard it is. And if you notice, what we've been seeing, a whole lot of this shit be going back to the Carver. Still go back to Maurice Carver.
Yeah.
You got more great dogs going back to Maurice Carver. Okay, this number is going to be 212-582. $212-582.
Okay.
Now, Champion Becky, she down there made all rim.
She up there.
Yeah. Now, if I'm correct, she's the one that produced that badass litter that Beetlejuice was in.
You want me to pull up her offspring?
Yes, sir.
Y'all see how she bred, right? Okay. There's her offspring right there. see those offspring?
Yes, sir. You see Champion Beetlejuice? Champion Blondie? And Champion Buzz. Those are the three. Now, I knew she had one off of Rocky. That would have been Blondie. And then it was Beetlejuice, and then it was that Black Horse Buzz. But one of them, I think, I always thought one of Beetlejuice's sisters lost. I thought one of them had a loss to him. I thought it was two bitches. But Blondie was off of Rocky, and so was Beetlejuice. But see, I thought there was three in that litter.
And now.
No. But that's all it takes is three. There's three of them for her. But look how she bred though. Look how it's bred. She's bred good. You know, you go to Beetlejuice, you know, check out Beetlejuice, you'll see, you know, what he was doing when he made that cross.
Hold on.
And that Rocky dog, you know, that's some Jeep shit, if I'm correct.
It's still loading. Oh, there's Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Jeep shit. Yeah, I went up there and bred pudding mama to him. I don't know. He handled. I had trouble breeding the Bozak. I had a lot of trouble breeding the Bozak, but I didn't have no trouble breeding with Beetlejuice. You know, he put her in his breeding stand and had her locked down where his breeding stand wouldn't you couldn't move it. It was like locked down on a piece of block. And then he had that collar around her neck where she couldn't even move at all. He had that body strapped down real good. Beetlejuice jumped right up on there and slipped right on in there. Woo! I did it 3 times, y'all, and it didn't have one bit of a problem.
Hey, now who is Powder off of?
Powder's off of Beetlejuice and Pretty Mama.
Okay. I didn't see that in his offspring, but I know.
Well, there's another Beetlejuice. There's a couple of Beetlejuices in there. Okay, we got one more, guys. Havana boy, you want to go ready for the next one?
Yeah.
But you know, I keep on saying, if you notice the ones that we pulling up, guess what they all had in common? And we already know Honeybunch. You know, they still going back to the cover. Now, I don't know. The Havana boys, they might have some red boy in their shit because they mess with a lot of yellow dogs too.
You ready for that new number?
Yeah, hold on. Let me go ahead and pull it up and then I'll give it to you.
Okay. Let me see here.
And every damn one of them, I'm pretty sure. I know I saw damn near every single one of them went back to Carver. You know what I mean? I know Maggie was one of them old ones. Okay. Hold on, here we go. I think her number is going to be 11.
Hold on. One.
Now they got grand champion Maggie as a grand champion.
Okay, 1 what?
Okay, it's 1150.
There you go.
Okay, they got Havana boy Floyd. Is that the offspring, Mike, or you just got the pedigree?
That's the pedigree.
Okay. Hold on, I'm mine being a little slow. I'm catching up. Here's another one. We're gonna go back to Carver. You notice that? More Carver stuff. Carver's Midnight Cowboy. They go that Carver's Pistol, Carver's Miss Spike. Coming down off that little Posse Buster stuff. Now they got her as a grand champion, but she is not listed under grand champion, and she's back there in them older days too. She goes back to them older days too. She's not on the grand champion list. They got her down as champion. Like Jack said, there was no grand champion registered in their bitches all the way up to 2004. But there's her offspring. I know Floyd, I know Miss Maggie coming off a buck, and STP's Bonnie coming off of Virgil, and Floyd. I'm not sure, but what is that? Beyond is Jitney? Yeah, I know that one was in there. Off of Albie Stevens and Virgil. She had 3 points. She has 3 points. Now, guys, how do we? Now, my question is, if history tells us, out of all the damn dogs through all the years, and I'm talking about in the early 2000s, we average in close to 2,000 matches a year. Down there, 2,000 matches a year. And out of all these matches, y'all, all the way up to 2004, all we could get was literally 5 champions that made it on the all-win list. You know, we don't even need to throw up Honeybunch. Honeybunch is a shoe-in, and we know Honeybunch is a Carver dog, too. She goes back. Look. She produced Jeep, so you know we're going to go back to Carver and that. You know, Floyd Boudreaux, come on now. We know where we're going with that. And you notice, down there, every single one of them went back to Carver's Pistol and Spike down there. They all went back to Maurice Carver for damn sure. And that says a lot with all the breeds that were out of all these champions and all these champion bitches, which was, like I said, we had 30 something, and then we added 2 grand champions to the list, 2 females. That red bitch over there in Red Ruby Red, and you know that was Mayday. And you know, Mayday crosses and Stone City crosses. which you got a lot of dogs out of that, but shit, if you look at it for what it was, Diana was the only dog in that litter that produced the grand champion. Out of all them Mayday the Blondies, Diana was the only one that produced the grand champion. And she actually produced better dogs, you know what I'm saying, than Macha and Macho. And all them was litter mates. You know, Champion Hannah, she came out of that breeding. You know, she came out of that breeding. She didn't even produce that good. You know, but again, I say, you know, that's that Stone City Mayday cross. So Mayday had a lot of dogs. He had, you would have thought he had straws. You know, the way they bred that Blondie to Mayday cross. You know, especially knowing what I know. You know, and then we still got to throw in them common factors, y'all, that always bring that question mark to my mind. You know, again, you know, it was bad enough that Mayday was bred to Blondie one time. Keeping in mind that Mayday was bred before he left the United States. He wasn't producing shit. He was throwing blanks. So whoever they was using over there sure has something in them. You know, and they make it like that. How many times did they breed Mayday the Blondie? How many litters did they get? You know, and that's, you know, that brings you back to that, you know, the big question of the Latino conspiracy. You know what I mean? We still dealing with evolution. You know what I mean? We still dealing with Victor, still trying to get an explanation how all of a sudden Mayday's throwing dogs again. After you couldn't throw shit, we know you had him down to the university. If you could have got good sperm out of him, we would have had straws. Now, these are all the things that I know for a fact. They had him over there at the university. They tried to get strong sperm out of him. They tried to do everything they could, and they couldn't get no good sperm out of him. They even have straws. My man Carlos said people talk bad about Carver, but one thing stands that his dog was successful the most other people and most other people's hand other than the other breeders. And you're right. A lot of great dogs, and we can even say that today. A lot of our dogs, you know, you will go back there and you're gonna find it. You go back there and that Gardner shit, you're gonna constantly see it. You know, there is just no doubt. I mean, if you go to studying what made some of these dogs, man, if you study these breeders like Stone City, if you were to study their breeders, if you study the way Gaston bred his shit, if you study the way David Tant was breeding his shit, you know, if you notice, they wasn't getting no registered married bitches now. I mean, like they said, it's hard as hell, let alone to get a champion bitch, a grand champion bitch, and get some damn puppies out of her. Remember, up to 2004, y'all, 2004. They didn't have one grand champion registered married bitch. You know what I'm saying? And we found two after 2006 that we could add to that list. We added two bitches to that list after.
Yeah, they was after. Yeah, they was after 2004, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
After 2004. But here's the thing. 2004 and back, you had a lot of dogs being matched. You know what I'm saying? You had a lot of people breeding dogs. And you know, if you was to just study that part right there, when you got a whole lot of shit going on and you couldn't do it, then you would think as the numbers get cut down, the possibility of it happening, because you're not having as many matches back then as you used to, You know, the lower the numbers, it seemed like it would be easier to get. You know what I'm saying? Because we see a lot of dogs out there that was winning a lot of matches, you know, after 2004. You know, and it's hard to argue the issue if you don't have the reference. You know, a lot of these dogs are based on, you know, actual witnesses to these dogs, guys that actually witnessed these dogs that were going. You know, like even in today's, you know, not like today's world, but back in my time when I was getting out, like in 2008, I knew a lot of champions that was coming out that, you know, weren't in the journal. You know, after 2004, anybody who they had a 2005 to 2007, you know, 2007, my man went to prison. That was the last journal that was ever produced by him. Now, you know, they went to the International Sporting Dog Journal, you know, and still a lot of the game didn't even deal with that international shit. You know, guys that was reporting to those kind of places, they had one thing in mind: advertisement. You know, and there was very little verification going on. You know, it was never like scrutinized as much as Jack scrutinized. You know, Jack scrutinized, and then, you know, at some point you could say Jack, you know, was biased, but, you know, shit, Beeline got by on his watch. You know what I'm saying? Scrutinizing, but, you know, Beeline got by. You know, when he sold the journal, look, you got a hardcore, got dog of the year twice. You had Mayday Stone City dogs that literally took over the dog of the year after that. You know, after the journal was sold, down there 2 years, down to 3 years in a row, there was a damn Stone City dog up on that motherfucker. Awesome beast. You know what I mean?
Don't forget the Destroyer.
Destroyer. You know, Barracuda. I mean, there was a lot of damn dogs up there. You know?
Hey, so what do you think the problem was, Mo? You think they was like us? You know, like I was telling them earlier about Baby was a bad bitch, but she was too valuable for you to match her. You think other people thought the same way?
You know, I believe that because Baby killed my mechanic bitch. And I remember why I bought that bitch. That bitch was a bad little bitch. I would have been expecting that bitch to kill Baby. You know what I'm saying? When she got off the chain. I would have been expecting Baby to be the dead dog. You know, because Baby was like Buck Rogers. She was, but I really thought I had something with that mechanic bitch. She had a good mouth. Maybe she just wasn't game. Maybe Baby took her down into that dungeon, you know what I'm saying, on the chain. And one thing for damn sure, she was still there when I seen him that morning. You know, I just think that, you know, as the numbers go down, I would have thought it would have been a lot easier, you know. But, you know, at the same time, if the numbers are going down and a lot of guys, you know, the competition, not even the competition, the numbers damn near got cut in half. You know, a lot of guys stopped registering their matches, you know, especially all the way up to 2007. Yeah, we got some books out there, 2005 books. But, you know, anybody who was going into the journal back then, they weren't doing nothing but taking care of this man while he was out on appeal. He was still selling the journal. So it wasn't like anybody was getting in trouble here. This man out on bond, still selling the journal, still reporting matches, and he out on bond for dog fighting. He's been rated, you know, and took all the information pertaining to the journal, you know what I mean? And he still spent 3 more years, you know, running the journal while he was out on appeal. So that tells you, man, well, a lot of guys start registering. That would have been wise the thing to do, especially when you know the dad had everybody's subscription. But he also knew the law. You know, as long as you ain't got nobody getting on the stand pointing out what's in those books, you know, those books don't mean nothing. They're publications. You know, everything in those books back then was fictional unless somebody showed some factual evidence. You know, anybody can lie and put something in a book. That's just like getting on a raft and saying, I killed 4 motherfuckers the other day and I'm over here washing my car. Like it didn't mean shit. Did that mean I literally did kill 4 motherfuckers and went home and washed my car? Because I said it on a rap, it's the same thing in a book. The book is a published piece of material. And if there's any factual things in that book, you got to bring the evidence out and you got to have at least 2 people to testify to it. And it has to be credible evidence. And then when my trial, the judge wouldn't even let the boy bring the man bring the books to the stand. You know, you ain't bringing no witnesses. All you bring is a stack of damn journals. You're trying to poison the jury with a stack of journals talking about this man is in these books. You want to explain the book down like this book is used for dog fighting. This is where they record their matches. This is where all the fights go. Start reading off matches. Got him by the head and shaking him with the left. And then all of a sudden he quit. All that shit is in them books.
Hey, Mo.
Yes, sir.
Now, with all the breeding, and I know you usually go all the way back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't, me and you talked about this, and I was just shocked, just as shocked as you was, that we couldn't pull up no more than 5 ROM champion or grand champion bitches. Now think about it. As much as we've been around the game, okay, let's take Triple M, right? Remember that bomb ass litter he had?
Which one?
Triple M.
Oh yeah. But that was and that was a cold bitch. He kept on doing it. That's why he kept getting them.
Right, and she was a cold bitch.
Right.
You know, them type of things. Remember, it's been, we could go down in history and we could find a couple of them, can't we? A whole bunch of them. Them cold bitches that was producing, cold bitches that's producing.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, you only have 5 champions on the register of merit list.
That's right. Now think about it, if we were to do it on them cold bitches, we come up with a whole bunch of damn bitches that became ROM that was cold.
I mean, look at the how many 1-time winners and 2-time winners is on the register of merit list? That's the question. If all we got was no grand champions and 5 bitches. 5 bitches that was champions that got registered of merit. 5. That's not a lot of bitches.
Considering the years we're talking.
A lot of breeders, they bitches got all run by breeding to the right dog, because I've said it many a time. We can go down the register of merit list and the bitches alone, and we got, like I said, we got like 30, 33, 34 in the actual journal. And we only got but 5 of those bitches as champions. Daisy May wasn't a winner. Look at the Daisy May. I mean, I can start running these bitches off, and we all know most of them, right? And I can guarantee you, most of them wasn't. They sure wasn't no champions. They sure wasn't no grand champions. You know, how many of these bitches could have been 1-time winners? You know what I'm saying?
Big shout out to my man, Self-Made Kennels in the house. What up, Self-Made?
I mean, a lot of them, look, I'm going to run them down. You got Honeybunch, Awesome Baby, Booger, Limited Edition, Miss Kim, Angie, Assassinator, Catfish, Dirty Mary, Dolly, Jill, Lady Undertaker, Little Bit, Leda, Miss Leakey, Ramona, Autumn, Bad Becky, Breaker, Buck, Colleen, Crazy Tippy, Daisy May, Geraldine, Go-Go Girl, Hannah, Jill, Lucy, Maggie, Mean Jolene, Miss Champ, Pepsi, Miss Pooh Red, Red Baby, Red Lady, Roxy, Red Pinky, Supilio, Spider, and Teacup.
I'm
That's
surprised. I'm surprised that Polly didn't make the list.
Polly is Red Lady. How the word
Okay.
Red Lady is Polly. How the
Okay.
word Polly.
Okay, my boss.
Dolly Little May's sister. And look, from Autumn all the way down to Teacup, those are 3. You got Angie, Assassinator, Catfish, Dirty Mary, Dolly, Hollandworth Dolly, Wright's Jill, Boys Lady Undertaker, LA Dream Team's Little Bit, McCullum's Later, Undertaker's Miss Leakey, Ozzy Stevens Ramona. The females got 4 points. Now the bitches, they got 7 to 5 points. Crenshaw's Honeybunch has 7 points. Awesome Baby had 5 points. Road Warrior Booger had 5 points. Boy Limited Edition had 5 points. Miss Kim had 5 points. Okay, everybody else, and that's not a lot of registered male bitches now, y'all. And I can't. You tell me one of these bitches in here, y'all. That we know who the champions are. We know we ain't got no grand champions. But let's even talk like which one of these bitches is even winners in this list? Not counting the 5 champions that we had. Okay, we talking about just the bitches. We got 5 champions. I can't pull a one-time win out of here nowhere. Out of this whole list. I can't really just pull up one and say, well, she was at least a winner. She might have been a 2-time winner. I mean, as I go through the list, you know, it's funny to say this, but man, I can't even pull out a damn winner. So that should say a lot. It's really, and you got to look at it like this. Every one of these bitches on here, if you pull up their pedigrees on their ROM sheets, you will see that they all were bred to good males. They were all bred to good males. We know how the Dirty Mary stuff was. We know how that was bred. We know how the Hollywood stuff was bred. I'm talking about nothing but the 4s. These are nothing but the 4s. Birds, Angie, Assassinator, that's Windy City. Lewis Catfish, we saw her breedings. Boy, Dirty Mary, we know her breedings. We know Hollywood Dolly, we know her breedings. We got Wright's Jill, she had 4. Boy's Lady Undertaker, that's a Boy's bitch, we know her breedings. We seen the LA Dream Team's breeding. McCullum's Later, we didn't see her, but we know Undertaker Kennels, Miss Leakey, we know her breedings, and we know Ozzy Stevens Ramona. You know, a lot of her crosses is when they was starting to cross that road shit with Ozzy Stevens shit, which went back to Greenwood shit. You know what I mean? That tells you a lot.
Big shout out to my man.
Go ahead.
Big shout out to my man K-Walk. What up, fam?
You know, that LG Kim bitch, she got 5 points. A lot of people was literally sleeping on those dogs, on that LG shit. Remember back in the day when I was messing with them Eli dog, like I said, that LG shit it would be nice to throw a cross up in there with them. But they was advertising so damn much, man. It was like they was flooding the market with that shit. And then here we go again. Here's another line of dogs that, you know, if you look, the dead serious dogs was showing more promise. You know what I mean? The dead serious dogs showed more promise on the way dead serious in them came along. But then look at the way dead serious in them was looking at it like mad and them was looking at them. They really didn't, you know, they really didn't like the shit, that cool shit. Look, they got banjo for pennies. You know what I'm saying? My man said he's seen Hannah and Zena the same night for their championship.
Who's my man?
And my man up here, K-Walk.
Yeah.
Hey, who had him? Did Evolution have him? K-Walk, did Evolution have him? You know what I'm saying? I see Pit Dog say BB Red Banjo. Yeah, they was. I mean, and then, but even with them two dogs right there, they still produced some pretty good dogs. That Chop Chop dog was a pretty nice one. Yep. Okay. So yep, Tennessee show. And see, and that wasn't no. I mean, again, it's very seldom that I've seen Evolution, and I'm trying to find out. It was very hard for me to ever see Evolution leaving Texas. You know, I was surprised when Hannah won her championship. I really was. Because I knew a couple guys that kept trying to get him, man, and they wouldn't touch him with a pole, man. You know, there was a time that the South was really after Texas. Texas had everybody was taking shots at Texas, especially the North. Everybody wanted to go into some guys from Texas. You know, they were more scared of they were scared of that damn Cajun country. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Them boys, you know, when they go into that Cajun country, I don't know whether they felt like they was gonna get robbed and dunked in the damn swamp or something. But man, they'll tell you, man, you better go down there with some money and a bunch of fellas if you think you're gonna go down there in that Cajun country and do some dog and come out a winner. You know, when Scratchliner went down in there, they were pretty confident. They came with a pretty nice crowd. You know, Shady Days in them, they got pretty cool with boot camp in them. You know, because they was going strong. You know, I was trying to get down there in that area back then too, with Brat and Pretty Mama.
Pit Dog said $50 a piece. They were sold in a bar. You got to be talking about Banjo and BB Red.
Yeah. You talking about Banjo and BB Red. You know what I mean? But that tells you a lot, though. You know, so when we making these breeds, I really waiting on these big dreams to come about. Guys, take notes. Take real good notes. Yeah,
hey, Mo.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you know, sorry to interrupt you, man. But, you know, based on what you're saying, right?
Yes, sir.
And, you know, them people be out there who don't breed the cold dogs. But we catching hell trying to find a champion and the grand champion ROM. That just blows that little way of thinking straight out the water, don't it?
Hey, man, let me tell you something, man. It's the guys who's taking these bitches and bring them to the right males are the one that's making history. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I'm telling you, you literally go through how they bred Dirty Mary, how they bred Crazy Tippy, how they bred Honeybunch, how they bred Awesome Baby, how they bred Limited Edition, how they bred Miss Kim. Just in the top, from Honeybunch to Miss Kim. Honeybunch got 7, Awesome Baby got 5, Booger got 5, Limited Edition got 5, and motherfucking LG Kim, Miss Kim got 5. Now you go and pull up every one of them bitches right there. You got them big numbers. Watch how they bred. They're gonna be bred to some good shit where they ain't have no other choice but to produce. That's just like that Miss Kim. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget Mason and them. Look how they was breeding. You know, look how they was breeding, man. Those are all, most of them all them bitches are bred great. Most of them all them bitches got goddamn formulas to their shit. I mean, just to make all women. I mean, if you look at Baby, look how Baby was bred. Most of the bitches were made great breedings. That's the key. Now, if you look in today's time and the way everybody's breeding with no references, you know, then you ask all these years later from 2004. I mean, we can go in 2004 all the way up to 2026. That's over 20-something years. And you still haven't moved the needle nowhere close to the top dogs on that registered male list, male or female. And my question would be, how are you going to ever be able to when the competition and the numbers aren't the way they used to be in our time? You know, those numbers might be like that for a very, very long time.
Well, hell, you know, we had problems back then because, again, you know, Baby, out of all the breedings we did, shit, Baby was the only ROM that came off our yard. And you talk about Sassy and Amber, and they was the foundation of the yard.
Sassy was bred a lot, but Sassy was not bred nowhere close to like. Remember, look who I bred her to. Who did I breed her to?
I know it wasn't much.
That's right. That's right. I bred the little buck. I bred the Little John, Walkamore's Little John. I bred the Cock Diesel. You know? And then Jamie, he took her and he bred her to Hot Dog. Maybe she got some winners out of Hot Dog.
Yeah.
Bred her to Nico Jr. Remember, we got some game dogs out of the Nico Jr. breed.
Hey, didn't Powder produce something?
Yeah, Powder produced Roger Ramdat in them.
Right. Remember that's Pharaoh in them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's out of Powder.
Right.
Powder
was a big juicy pretty mama.
Right. Wasn't Powder cold?
Yeah, I would say she was cold. Yeah, she was cold.
Because she never started. Not that I know of.
Nope. But every one of her damn puppies in the litter did. Remember, Powder didn't have no brothers and sisters. Remember, Powder was the only puppy I got out of the Beetlejuice breeding. There was no litter mate. Powder was the only puppy. Out of all the breedings that I made with Pretty Mama, she only had one. And you know why? The roids.
Yes, sir. Say it again.
Yeah, the Roy's caused me a lot of problems. That's why we couldn't get. And then when we finally got, remember, Sunny Mean Street helped me with Brat, because Brat last litter to make two, she had a nice litter.
Yeah, so Sunny Mean Street. Remember, we didn't know none of that shit back then, but we did. That was we did get. Once you tried that shit did work, didn't it?
Yeah, I had a chance to get them puppies out of Mayday, even though Victor had Brat over there in Ecuador. And I cannot argue the fact that one damn thing for sure. This was shortly after, but it took Victor had Brat over there for a whole damn year, not 6 months. Brat was over there damn near a year. She could have had 2 litters of damn dogs, if you want to ask me.
Yeah.
Because she was over there that long. But they have puppies. And then on top of that, because, she came back pregnant. She didn't come back with a litter of puppies. She came back pregnant. So during that time, if Victor was sitting there breeding a blondie, I know that they got Mayday up there at the damn university trying to get straws off of him. Yeah. Evolution and them, they had Mayday down there. They had him at the university. They're trying to get straws off of him. But see, they had already made the blondie breeding. But my argument was, I know the blondie breeding and the puppies that came off the blondie breeding. Now, all these other breedings where they bred Mayday back to blondie again, that shit, all that shit was suspect.
My man Pit Dog said, who cares what they did back when? If you wasn't there, then you never know. Worry about the first 3 generations. You can have a debate of that for years about the dogs, 50 to 100 years ago.
Yeah, but that's the point. That's the point. If you don't worry about it, then, and you go on that assumption, knowing that there's a gap there, then you breed to what you see, regardless of what you think, right? Because again, I bred the Mayday. And I'm telling you, I also bred to Mayday and didn't get no puppies. And then all of a sudden when Victor leaves, he leaves with my dog. I come back, you got Mayto and them. She had little puppies off of Mayday. But remember, she was bred to Mayday before she left and didn't have shit. And she ended up sick. Apache was bred to Mayday right along with Brat and didn't have shit. She had babesia. Now, once Mayday got back over there, he didn't produce the same dogs he was producing in the United States. So, yeah, when you breed them like we breed them, when we breed them, because we breed our own stock, we got a yard. See, when you breed in a yard and you got bulldogs, you do care. You care a lot. Because you want to make damn sure you're making the right damn crosses. I want to make goddamn sure my dog was off of Mayday. Give a fuck what anybody say. Oh, I believe that. And then when you go back far enough, they're like with Big John. Big John was gone in 2000, but he got a dog that's clearly in pedigrees right now that was off of Big John in 2002, knowing damn well. Why wouldn't you not give a fuck? How can you tell me you don't give a fuck when you know for a fact that dog wasn't off of Big John? So that means your paperwork is all screwed up. Let me put that in your yard and let me see how you feel about that. Ain't no way in the hell you're going to be sitting there talking that shit. Ain't no way. You ain't going to do that. As long as that shit is good, yeah. Hey, no problem. But guess what? People like us, you got to explain that shit. Yeah, I might have a good dog, but how am I going to explain this dog coming off of Big John and Big John gone in 2000? What am I supposed to tell the people who catch that? What am I supposed to say to the people who catch that? Fuck that. That shit was way back then. It don't even matter now. You got a good dog. You think some people will do that? Pull one up and try to sell a puppy with that conversation. You ain't going to get shit. Because like me, I caught people breeding the damn dog. You know, saying the dog came off of Big John. Big John was gone 2 years ago. You got goddamn David Tant was breeding Yellow 3 more years after Yellow died. I'm telling you, Victor was breeding Mayday down there 3 years after Mayday left the United States, and he produced, but he not produced not one great line of dogs that he produced when he was in the United States. Tell me, if he was producing dogs like he was producing in the United States, why did all those dogs, only a trickle few came out of it? Gray Dog was bred here in the States. You know, he had a couple more of them. He got down there 30 points on the registered mare list. And I can down there count up all his champions and grand champions. You know, he had a lot of them. My question is, you know, if the dog wasn't producing like this before he left, and I'm telling you the dog was over there in Texas at the university and they couldn't even get straws off of him, that's telling you a lot. If you know that they had him at the university, you know they tried to get straws off of him, and his dog, he just didn't have it. Yet he was still selling dogs off of Mayday. You sit there and still telling people that you was breeding. You mean to tell me you bred Mayday the blinded 2 and 3 times, and she had puppies the whole time? You'll never get me to believe that shit.
I want to give a quick big shout out to my man Cool Beans in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man Frederick Bob in the house. What up, fam?
But you take the stragglers because you're getting good dogs. You're still getting good dogs. Now you got Graveyard out of there. You got Big Head out of there. You have some pretty good dogs coming out of Ecuador. But the numbers were nothing like, okay, what changed? Because a whole lot changed when you got to Ecuador. We should have been getting the same kind of numbers that we were getting when Maggie was right here in the States, when everything he was putting his dick in, goddamn it, was throwing out match dogs.
Hey, Mo, my man.
A lot of dogs that came out of Ecuador, he was looking pretty funny now. What's that, Mike?
My man Pit Dog said he wasn't even speaking on what we was talking about. He was going on about what Insane and Trauma was talking about.
Oh, okay, but no, I was just speaking in general though. I'm sorry. No, I was just speaking in general, not really directly, but as a whole, because I heard that statement before when the guy tried to explain to me it didn't matter, you know, in his pedigree, you know what I mean, because he had a good dog. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but when it came down to him breeding and shit, guess what?
He couldn't get shit.
He couldn't get shit. He couldn't get shit. Why he couldn't even carry the Mayday line no further than what he had got. He got no further than what he can get out of what came out of that litter. That was it. That was it. And they really didn't get shit out of the Mayday blondie breeding. They really did not get shit out of the Mayday blondie breeding. We got more match dogs out of that one time that we bred Little Buck took Sassy Girl than what they did. You know what I mean? Show me one all-whim litter that came out of that. One all-whim bitch that came out of that Mayday blondie breeding. One. And y'all bred the shit 2 or 3 times the way they said they did. You know, that's the question. And you said that about a lot of lines. I wish I was Maurice Carver. I wish I could breed like Maurice Carver. If I could breed like Maurice Carver, I would be the shit that I could just go in the door, pull out a goddamn pedigree and give it to you, not knowing if it's the right pedigree or not, and still have some damn good dogs. Still have some damn good dogs.
I like what K-Walk said. K-Walk said any Mayday Snooty crosses or Red Boy Jeep Snooty worked in history. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still work to this day.
Well, my argument is I say Mayday Eli. I think took it back to the Mayday Eli more than any of them. Mayday fits real good on top of Buck. That's a known fact. That's a known fact. But you keep putting that Jeep or Eli in there, you're gonna get better dogs. To me, Eli dog go better with Mayday. To me, you do, because Mayday is like Red Boy. You can double up on Mayday, you can triple up on Mayday, and still get decent dogs. You can double up on Red Boy and triple up on Red Boy and still get decent dogs. You can take a Carver dog and double up and triple up on a Carver dog and still get good dogs. You know what I mean? That Kobe Eli cross, good shit. You know, some of these dogs you can stockpile on, like even in Tom's case. Tom been trying to keep his line tight for so damn long, but he's able to get his hands on the right dogs to keep it working. And as far as we know, Tom could be Maurice Carver. You know, Tom could be out there pulling shit out the drawer, putting it with anything he got on the yard. He got so much of that shit. Like when we was at his house, Mike. Remember when we was at his house and he was doing the show, right?
Right.
Remember, it was he going out there in the yard grabbing dogs. Tom don't even know who the damn dogs is. Remember the dude coming up with the dogs had to tell Tom who the dog was.
Hey, but Tom did say he still had 7 more breedings out of them spike straws, but I ain't seen him release none yet. So I've been waiting on him. My question is, when I'm standing there looking at him and he's showing off the yard. Remember, he was bringing them dogs up to the front. And he was the guy was literally telling Tom who the dogs was that they was bringing. Yeah, but he had so many. He had no problem. Yeah, but see, he had so many of them out there, but you know, there was them black dogs, so it's hard, you know, how them black dogs was.
I knew every damn dog in my damn yard.
Well,
I knew every dog on my yard. Could walk down through there and tell you exactly how they was bred. Now, Tom had a lot of dogs now. Yeah, I would say he had a lot of dogs.
A lot of puppies. There's a lot of puppies there, too.
We're talking about grown dogs that was, you know, remember, he was bringing his major shit up. Remember, he didn't even know Chemo when he bought Chemo up through there. That's all I'm saying. If I'm gonna be sitting up here doing the show, and you're walking through the yard and you bringing dogs up to the front, and you don't know what dog these dogs are that you bringing to the front. So the man got to tell you who it is, and then he'll take off from there. Yeah, this is what's the name, so and so and so and so. But after he's being told who the dog is,
he getting old, Mo.
Okay, make excuses. I mean, that was one thing. That was one thing that I caught when I was there. I was like, "How this man don't know his yard?" I knew every dog on my damn yard. I didn't know where in the hell, especially my great ones. How the hell am I gonna get them mixed up? Give a damn what color they was. I had the whole damn yard of red-nosed dogs with glowed eyes, and knew every damn one of them. You know, and the man was willing to pay top dollar for all those great dogs out there. You know, maybe Tom is a goddamn another Maurice Carver, reach in the drawer and grab something and throw it on there. You know, because he sells a lot of dogs. You know, and you can't say the man ain't doing, you know, his yard is garbage, because you can put Tom's yard to most of these kennels. You go back in the day all the way up to these modern day kennels like Pit Stop and them like that. Is, you know, they have good dogs and they're producing good dogs, but ain't none of them producing like Tom. You find Tom from back there in the day. You got Tom dogs all in these confirmation shows. You out here winning. You know what I mean? You got Tom dogs out here, you know, with pretty pedigrees. You know, and if you ever question Tom, if you catch him slipping, and I know there's been times, and my boy is one of them for a fact because he called me about it, and I seen something wrong with it, and I questioned him about it. He went back to Tom, and he questioned Tom about it, and Tom got mad at him and cussed him out and hung up the phone. You see what I'm saying? You know, because you know he caught him backed up in a corner. Because what he asked him was the truth. He didn't expect the boy to know, but the boy, I told him. I said, no way that could have been, because that, you know, all the straws in the world, that is not even about the straw. It's about how it was bred. The dog age didn't line up because I knew the dog was gone. So he called Tom and he asked Tom about it because it was on his pedigree, and Tom got mad at him. Tom got mad at him, cussed him out, and hung up the phone. He didn't argue the fact. He didn't tell you, like, you know, this dog was actually bad like this. He didn't try to fix it. He didn't try to, you know, show him where he was wrong. He just got mad at himself for questioning him as dog. Well, I bought the dog, and you know the pedigree ain't right. I just wanted to make sure what it is. And Tom just cussed him out, told him it is what I put there, and hung up.
My man K-Walk said your man got his own formula on the low.
But you know what? You talking about Tom's yard man. Tom's yard man be the one doing all that work. If you're talking about Tom's yard man, I don't know about the yard man y'all talking about, but I know Tom's boys, they be doing their own little thing out there on Tom's yard.
Yeah, they do.
Some of them breeds, they got to tell Tom what they doing. You know, Tom got his, you know, them boys out there, they got their own little line of dogs. You know what I'm saying, Mike? Remember that?
Yeah.
That one dude, he got his own little line off of Tom's yard. I would love to be a yard boy on Tom's yard. Bitch come in heat. Shit. I'm running to the house, got my bitch running right to Tom's yard.
It could also be that person is free to leave, but
that's a good question to ask, though. You know, I mean, with all the breeds that's being made today, you know, look at the chances that if through all those years, that's the most we can get out of a registered mare was five champions. Just imagine how hard it would be to produce a registered mare bitch that's a champion, let alone a grand champion, just even a champion. They couldn't even get a grand champion out of that shit to produce. You know what I'm saying? But look how many bitches made registered mare breeding to good dogs. A lot of guys that got their bitches on that list did real smart things, registered mares. Everybody watching the news?
No, I ain't watching it. I'm in the office.
Oh, okay. You know, making good breedings, man, that's the key. Making good breedings. That's what the key back then. That's why those you don't see if they with all the dogs that was being going on back then. That's the crazy part. With all the dogs that was going on back then, and that's the best they could get out of them. Look at all the bitches that made it on the list. Go back and look at every one of them and look how they were bred. They were bred to good dogs. The mindset of the breeder. Who was the key to making famous dogs? The damn man with the bitch. Yep, it's the man with the bitch. I always talk about it. I say, what's the key factor? The key factor is that breeder. What is on his mind and what made him take that female breed to that male? What was he thinking when he did that? You know, I can look at some of these breedings and understand exactly what they was doing when they did that. And then some of those guys go in their own pedigrees and they look in their own pedigrees and they look at the formulas back there. You can understand the pedigree that's back there in your pedigree. And if you notice, they always try to keep it as tight as possible. If you notice, all great breedings, watch how tight they try to keep it. Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
You know, we can hear your TV, man. Because ain't nobody else in the room.
I'm saying.
Like Pit Dog said, TV loud. But yeah, if you take and look at all the breedings that they had back in the day, and look how they were bred, and you see these line breedings, I mean, go far back as Tudor and them, and look how they were breeding. They would have real nice line breeds, real nice inbreed, and then they would just come in there with just one outcross. But you look into that outcross got years of tight breeding, just as much as the damn breeding that he's adding to it. He's taking a nice outcross, line bred, inbred dog that's got a line of his own and crossing it into their shit. Guys that are able to take their females and have a nice uniform formula and taking it and breeding it the right way, whether they're going into a line or they going in with an outcross or they going in with a 3 in and 1 out, guaranteed you we go back through these damn registered married bitches, this is what we're going to find. We're going to find those type of breedings. So if you're going to breed your dogs and you want good quality line dogs, yes, it's very important that you pay attention to the back, especially if you're the one making a decision, why am I taking this bitch to that male? The most important thing to remember in all these great breedings that made these dogs famous, that decision that they were making were good decisions because each one of them created a formula. They all had a formula. Look at all the DSK dogs. As much as they thought Banjo and BB Red was trash based on the breeding, and that breeding was some LG shit, they kept the cross tight. They kept the cross tight and still was getting good dogs.
Big shout out to my man. Big shout out to my man Vlad Kennels. Hey fellas, look, I know we got a couple people in. Hey man, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. My numbers from my likes ain't matching what's in the room. Yo, don't forget to hit that like button. Let's see here.
My man Bandit said, I noticed that when I was looking through pedigrees. Yes. Yes. I mean, if you can read your pedigree and notice the formula, I mean, literally watch what they're doing. And I always say, it's not the males that you should be paying attention to. It's the females. The guys that are taking the females and breeding to these males. Just take yourself and put yourself in their shoes and then look at them as the breeder with that dog and say, why did he want to breed to that dog there? Because most of the time, when you see the outcome and it's a great dog, it makes it easier for you to understand it. It makes it easier for you to understand it to the point that, you know, you can look at your own line of dogs and see where there's, you know, when there's something wrong there. You know, you can damn near look at some of these breeders, man, and know the breeding is going to be trash. You can damn near know the breeding is going to be trash.
Hey Mo, did you notice 3 out of the 5 dogs that we started out tonight was Eli dogs? You had one Red Boy dog and one Tudor.
Yeah, but the Tudor dog, ended up going into the Eli stuff. The tutor shit. Because Boudreaux never go back to tutor.
Right.
Spiking them go and Pistol and them go back to tutor. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I mean, every one of them damn dogs, you didn't find a yellow dog on there, did you? It wasn't that one yellow dog in them in that champion and grand championship. You notice that? In that list of females? Remember, it wasn't one.
I thought we did see. I thought I seen a red boy cross with something up in there.
Yeah. Beetlejuice's mama.
Okay.
Beetlejuice's mama. But remember, Beetlejuice's mama was assassin bitch. They took the assassin bitch and bred to Rocky. Rocky was off a Jeep. That's a red boy Jeep cross. You know what I'm saying? They took Champion Maggie and bred to Windy City Rocky, who was off a Jeep. How many guys was out there taking they red boy bitches, breeding them to Jeep dogs? I mean, if you look at Mayday's pedigree, you're going to see that Bolio literally goes back to Carver. So Bolio go back to Carver. Why was they back there breeding? And this is before Mayday. This is before the Hollywood dog. Why were they taking these Bolio dogs and breeding into the Eli dogs? Remember, Mayday got Grand Champion Rowdy in his pedigree. He's an Eli dog. You know what I mean? Baby got Jeep all in her pedigree. Look at all the Eli that's in Baby. They call them ain't made a Stone City dog. If they was made a Stone City dog, why them dogs got so much Jeep in them? Baby got just as much Jeep in her as she do Yellow and Buck. If not more. You know, that's the key. Finding that formula, getting that figure right. You know, a lot of guys, they be so stuck on breeding to the papers. You know, when you breed to the papers, you missing so many things. You're missing traits. You missing, it's like when you take your female and breed it, you know, and his paper that you want to breed your bitch to line up so well with your bitch. You know, and you just kind of just forget about the fact that, you know, the traits don't even matter. You know, you're so excited because the pedigree, when you put your bitch on top of that pedigree, it looks great. It really looked great. So the first thing you thinking is, yeah, this is going to be the one here because this is some working shit. The problem be when you get away from the dog itself, down the pedigree in the paperwork. See, there's a difference between then and now. Now it's almost logical for you to match up papers because that's what's being sold today. There's more papers being sold today than you know, the dog. You know what I mean? Shit. You wanna have a great dog on the stud, having his ass looking good on the spring pole and be bred good. Have that mother with a nice ass body, you know, and be bred good. You know? This is the way they're breeding dogs now, and it's understandable. It's understandable because we're not talking about the past no anymore. You know, we can't even grade dogs in the now like you were grading dogs in the past because of totally different, what you call criteria. You know what I mean? It's a totally different category.
Criteria.
Oh yeah, okay, thank you. Criteria. You know, it's totally different. You know, if you see a nice dog that's bred good like your dog, and it's bred tight just like your dog, and it line up, you got a better chance of taking your dog breeding to that beautiful damn dog. You know, it still didn't matter about the papers, because if the dog was sitting up there with one ear down and one other ear up and had his stifles looking all like a cow, you know, cow stifles, you know what I'm saying, and has super bow legs, there's no way in the hell you're going to tell me you would breed to that dog just because the paperwork matched up with your dog. There's just no way in the world you would breed to that dog. It would have to be something about the dog. So it's not, a lot of guys, they say, you know, they don't really breed to papers. You know, well, I can understand when you say that if you're looking at the dog and the dog still looks like a good damn dog. See, back in our time, we wasn't looking at the dog. I mean, the papers, we were looking at the dog and coinciding with the papers after admiring the dog. You know, I'm so old school, papers don't impress me unless I see the dog. I see a nice built, form, structured dog. I like that dog. It don't have to be no champion. It don't have to be no great dog. He just can be a nice looking, beautiful looking dog. And I always feel like I would breed to him in today's time. I mean, what else is to do but that? I mean, everybody can't be down in the basement breeding damn dogs. These days, it's far and few dogs to breed to pertaining to what's in the basement. Who knows? Most guys are breeding the dogs that they see. And if you're breeding to dogs that's based on papers, you know, I'd rather say that a person that breeds to a dog that's based on papers is not going to have the good dogs that the person who's still taking his bitch and breeding the dogs that look good to him prior to him knowing how the dog is bred. You know what I mean? And if I'm interested in a dog that's got a nice pedigree and that draws my attention to let me see the dog, and the dog looks like something that really matches the pedigree that I'm looking at, then and I feel like if I breed my bitch into that, you know, I can only make my line of dogs better based on what I'm seeing, not on what I'm reading, because I might have read the paper first and like the paper, I might get to the dog and don't like the dog. So if I do decide to breed to the dog, that means I done read the dog's papers and I see the dog and I like the dog. I'd rather take a chance breeding to a dog that I see, that I like, that looks good on paper. You guys will have a better chance, you know, especially when it comes talking about percentages.
Big shout out to my man. Big shout out to my man, Balls Deep in the house. He said, "Good evening, gentlemen. Just goes to show you how many bad pedigrees did you hear controversy from Mr. Floyd. I heard stories, but no receipts. Now compare him to Tom Garner. How many pairs of his have what?" Big shout out to you, Balls Deep. What up, fam?
Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. I mean, hey, look what Pat Patrick said. He didn't want nobody to know he had polio, so he gave everybody fake papers. Just so nobody would know that he had polio. Polio was the one coming off, these dogs coming off of polio. So what did I tell you? Look at the people who got dogs off of him, you know what I'm saying? Off of polio, they didn't even know their dog was off of polio. And they were pretty happy with the dog they got. They were very happy with the dog they got, not knowing that the dog was off of polio. They figured the dog was off Maloney's tooth. Happy with it. I'm taking me a Maloney's tooth. I like this shit. And the whole time it's coming down off of bolio. Come on now. Look at Snooty. People don't see that. Look at Snooty. If you were to take Snooty and breed Snooty to a boomerang dog, take Snooty and breed to a damn Boyle's dog. You know, try that move. A boomerang Boyle's dog. You know what I'm saying? You know, remember Arch Missy and Boomerang were litter mates. You take an Arch Missy's son and you breed him to a daughter of Boomerang. Instead of taking the line and breeding it into the bolio stuff. Remember, that's what they did. They took the bolio stuff and crossed it into the Klaus stuff. And the same thing you're going to find back there if you go looking down into the Niggerino stuff. There's going to be certain dogs in the Niggerino stuff, the Grand Champion Niggerino stuff. You go back there and look at that Grand Champion Niggerino shit. That Cujo shit, when you go back there looking around in there, there's certain dogs in that pedigree that going to be the same piece of that puzzle like you hear me talking about Klaus's Stabber. There's certain dogs back in them pedigrees that you'll look at that shit and be like, that's the key. And you can bring that shit from back there all the way up to the front and know why it worked. Why couldn't Niggerino produce like Chinaman?
Big shout out to my man, Mr. Hemi James. He said, I've only heard about one breeding that could be considered controversial from Florida, apart from Jealous Mayfield's bullshit story about Eli. And that comes from the man himself, where he said, let me see what he said. I didn't see that part. Yeah, I got you, Hemi. Hemi said, reason being one of those stud dogs was an old dog.
Well, I remember I told you, I know I heard the story again when they were talking about when James Crenshaw went down there and got Rascal. I mean, y'all heard the story I told, and it was the same story I heard somebody else say. The man went down there and the man sent 2 Mexicans over the border. James was there 2 days. He came back with Rascal. Gave the paperwork and Rascal became Rascal, and this is how he was bred. A famous dog now, a famous dog. He couldn't even make ROM, but he became part of a line of dogs that to this day still goes down in the history of the dog game. Jeep Red Boy Rascal. Who knows how Rascal was bred? They said he came down off of the Eli dog. He was a Mexican Eli dog. He came from Mexico. James said he came from Mexico. You know, maybe he was one of them dogs they just grabbed out the drawer and gave it to him and said, okay, we're gonna put this pad on because I'm pretty sure the Mexicans come back with Rascal with some paperwork. That's just like talking about Pat Patrick again. Pat Patrick grabbing dogs, grabbing papers. They don't want to put Bolio's name on it because they don't want them to find out this dog was off of Bolio, so they give him a paper. And unless somebody told you, you know, the dog wasn't off of Bolio. It was off the paper that you gave him. How would you know? The key is, as long as the dogs show up right, why would I complain, right? It would be hard to sit there and do some shit that I seen like they did to Little Mayday, knowing what Little Mayday was bred like, but the whole time they started trying to breed him like a bull dog and wasn't getting shit. Now just imagine that. You know? With the breeds that they made, what if they had knew the truth? And breeding the way it was supposed to be bred. That's just like going over there, grabbing Rascal, putting some papers on him, and taking him home, and And what he doing with him, he taking Rascal, bringing him right back into the Eli dogs. That's how Rascal became such a great dog. He didn't come out there with no assumption. He come back out there with, look, James Crenshaw ain't no dummy. They know where he went over there. They know where Eli was. Eli was down there in Mexico. That T-Bud shit, I be telling you about T-Bud. T-Bud came from the same damn place he goddamn Rascal come from. Come from the same place. These are pedigrees. If you study them, you will see. It's to study them, to study them and understand it. You know, everybody talking about traits. The only traits you can be looking for in a dog today is performance on what? Let's concentrate more on the look and the ability and the structure. You know, if y'all want to really continue having good dogs, you know, look at your paperwork and keep to the old. Keep to the old. Because if you try to bring in something new, you might as well have what you call it, like you know how everybody had that band dog where they just putting shit together. You know what I mean? You can have band dogs in the line of pit bulls and still be breeding pit bulls. When pedigrees start looking raggedy, you know what I'm saying? And you'll know when they start looking raggedy, because then when you look at them, they don't make no sense. When you look at a pedigree and it don't make no sense, something's wrong. And you know, there's not a whole lot of great dogs out there that's 50-50 outcross. How many times have we looked at these champions, and when have we got into a habit where we're seeing more dogs that are great producers or great dogs that have raggedy pedigrees?
Big shout out to my man, Balls Deep. He said, that's why I say the biggest trait in the dogs missing today is honesty.
Yeah, that's true.
It was missing back then too, though, Balls Deep. You just had to just...
I just can't understand why they cost so damn much, though. I mean, I really don't understand why people are paying so much for these dogs. Y'all should be back down there to paying $500 and $600 and $300 for dogs these days. You know, y'all should get back to the old school way. Then y'all, you know what I'm saying? The old school. I'm talking about when they were selling dogs for $300 and $500 and stud fees was $500, $750 at the most. I mean, even if the dog was an actual grand champion, you could breed for $750, $850. Guys out here spending $1,000, $1,200 for a dog that has no understanding to the pedigree. If I was gonna go and buy a dog that lined up with my pedigree, literally lined up with my pedigree, and I was talking about in the now, not having no plans on doing anything, but looking for my expectations of what I'm looking for, I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a whole bunch of consistency when the shit was going right. When the shit was going right, I want to be able to look at this pedigree and follow that pedigree from when shit was going right all the way up to now, goddammit, with nobody doing nothing, but it's still showing shit was going right. You know, that would be the dog that I would want to breed to.
Big shout out to my man in Space Age Pits. What up, fam? He said, facts, Mo.
Yeah. You know, I guarantee you guys start making these people sit on these damn dogs. I guarantee you prices to go down. Them stud prices to go down.
Your boy Pit Dog said, I just stated you said you old heads like you never was scammed is my point.
For me, ever
I
been
don't know if
scammed?
he's talking to you.
No, he might not be talking to me. You know, I be thinking my boy talking to me, and I be catching shit, and I take it and put it out there in the big page. You know what I mean? Not him directly. It's just a good point, like in that one right there. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of guys be scammed out there spending, you know, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 for a puppy. I mean, that to me is overpricing. I mean, I'm talking about my time. Okay. If I was gonna spend $1,500 for a dog, I sold my puppies for $2,500. And the only ones that was going for $2,500 was the ones I bred back to Mayday. There were $2,500 puppies. When I
what about my Madame?
Brat to May too. Madame cost $2,500 when I sold her. You know, every one of them ones coming down off them champions was going for $2,500, and I was not biting my tongue. I was sitting up there slobbering and licking my lips. Because if you want them, you're gonna pay for these. They out here buying all this other shit. I have something that, you know, that was worth buying. Look at Jesse and them. They were selling dogs like that. I figured, Hardcore and them was selling dogs like that. Well, my dogs are just as good as they shit. Thank you for teaching me how to sell a dog. You know, like they said, if you're going to interfere with your own stock, then you make damn sure people going to be buying into your stock that you plan with. You got to make sure that they paying for it.
It got to be right, though, Mo. It's got to be right.
I mean, we talking about Hardcore and Stone City, like I said. Like we said.
New caliber type of people.
Right. If you gonna sell your shit, and you talking about stocks and breeds that you make sure that they pay. You know? Ain't nothing cheap. Remember how quick Victor went from $850? Remember when he first started studying out Mayday? Mayday went from $750 to $850 to down near $2,000. And we paid $700 to breed the Apache, and it did not take. But I bred the Mayday for that same $700, you know, because they gave me a repeat breeding, but they used Mayday and then turned around and didn't charge me nothing when I bred back to Mayday because who she was. You know? But if you look at the breedings that you know, when you breed these dogs and you see them on the internet, I be seeing some dogs on the internet, and I be seeing some dogs that they be bringing on the show. I be like, man, just imagine if I was to write a magazine and had all the dogs that I have seen come through this show that I didn't have no idea was out there. I mean, there'd be dogs that come up on this show that these dogs are bred so much alike and got good pedigree, great pedigree. I was like, man, if I had that bitch, I'd be trying to find that dude that was out here last week because, damn, I just saw a dog bred like this dog 2 weeks ago, 2 shows ago. Remember I was pointing that shit out, Mike?
Yeah.
I'd be like, man, just imagine.
If they was to hook up.
Oh, if they was to hook up. You know? Now, that's what I call, you know, when you say breeding to some good shit, you know, and we're not talking about the underground, because when you're in the underground, it's so secretive, you know what I'm saying? It's so secretive, you know, a person to go looking down in the underground, he got to be with night vision to get down there looking. I'm like you, I would go be a coal miner too. If I wanted to be a great goddamn yard, I'm going to get me some night vision, and I'm going to go down there into the goddamn cave and act like a mug out here trying to cut some diamonds off the rock. Yeah, I'm gonna go down there in the dark too and go down in them caves. Yeah, I would go down in the dark looking for me a good dog. If that's what I wanted to be having, I wanted to feed on my yard. You know, you go down there into that dungeon where it's dark at, you know, bad things happen. How many times when you've seen people out there digging for coal and diamonds in the cave falling in? The tunnels and shit. Well, that's the risk you take when you go looking. But goddamn, you go down there and you find the right thing, boy. You come out there with a diamond, boy. It's well worth it. It's well worth it. But everybody can't go down there looking. So you're gonna have these mosaics and knockoffs. You know, you can. It'll still ring like a diamond, but it ain't a real diamond. You know, the man that went down there with the night vision on and went down there and cut him out a real diamond out that damn rock. He's going to have a lot to show for it in time because, like they say, he got something strong to stand on. He's feeding something totally different than that mosaic that when you put the thing on it, it's still reading diamond. But is it a real diamond? No. It looks like one. But it ain't the same thing as that one that came out that cave down there. If I'm going to spend some money, I'm going to find the man that's down there in the cave, chopping off diamonds up there. Might cost me a little more to get me a good diamond, but I'd rather take the chance with that one.
Yeah, because that's the thing. That's the thing. Once you got it on your yard, it's up to you to do what's necessary to keep it going.
You ain't gotta go. You ain't gotta do nothing else.
You shouldn't have to leave the yard no more if you do the right thing.
You go down there and you go cave dwelling. You come out there with a nice ass diamond and you build your yard out that diamond. Remember, I always say you the breeder. If you're gonna go in all in, go in at one time and go down there in that cave and go out there and go searching for that diamond. You know, it takes an experienced man to go down there in them caves and go digging. But Lord knows you come out there with that diamond, you ain't got to go nowhere else to buy a damn dog. Shit, I would have the next 2 generations would be bred off of the shit that I came out of the dungeon with. I know I'm going to be taking daddy back to daughter a couple times, a brother back to sister a couple times. I ain't got to leave the yard. But the prices got to come down like the gas. The prices got to come down like the gas. Y'all putting too much value to the pedigree and not enough wisdom and understanding to the dog than the pedigree. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, the whole show tonight was about females, registered male females with titles. Remember, guys, we didn't have but 5 females out of all the years from 1972 all the way to 2004. We only had 5 champion bitches that were made the registered male list. You should write that down. And remember that. From 1972 to 2004, there was only 5 champion bitches that made registered marriage. 5. That's not a lot. That to tell you something. That should really open a light bulb up in your head when you get excited about breeding your bitch. You know, it should knock a sting off of that shit because it took all these years and that's the most that they could get and not one grand champion bitch. Not until 2006 or 7, they came up with a grand champion bitch that was a register of merit. So we saying from 1972 to 2006 or 7, they finally got a grand champion bitch that made the register of merit list. From 1972 to 2007. What did that tell y'all? with all these other breedings and all this other shit on Facebook and all this shit on Pairs Online. What did I tell you? That should be able to teach you how to breed your dog. That should tell you the understanding of how to breed your dog.
I like what Pit Dog said. He said, back then I wasn't talking to no trust me type of MS. They was people that had receipts. You're right, man. We make it good and clear that we walked around and we copycatted, but then we was dealing with people that, you know, you're sitting up there looking at their body of work. And once it got on the yard between Mo and KP, they made the right moves and everything that was created on that yard. Hell, we didn't give it away. We didn't sell it. We stayed with it. And, you know, that's where the foundation started. That's where it ended. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mo. We're coming up on 12:45, bro.
Yeah, we can go ahead and settle down. My thing is, I would like to see, you know, now that we know that, now let's look at the breeders that they're making today. Let's set up a show for Tuesday, you know, for Friday, you know, to reevaluate. I want to see breeders. I want to see what they breed. I want to see their bitches. Let's do a show full of bitches. We didn't show the numbers. You know what I'm saying? We have already shown the numbers on all the years. This is the best they got out of this shit. Now, let's move. Let's get on the bus and come back into the now. And let's look at the bitches that's out there in today's game. You know what I mean? I think that would be real interesting.
Well, me personally, I would definitely start with what you got, you know, with some, you know, on our yard. You know what I mean? Considering that your mind frame ain't never changed. T.O.'s mind frame ain't never changed. It's still, everything stayed the same. So I always just sit back, even looking at our dogs now, you know, and equate them to, okay, y'all haven't changed. You know, the names changed, but, you know, and you're following the trend because look, way back when we was throwing that Garner shit in our shit back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got the shit in the dogs when I see it in their third and fourth generation, you know, dogs that we have now. Garner's in the third or fourth generation, might even been a fifth. And Fat Bill back there, you know what I'm saying?
That's a good point, man, that you make right there, because when you say we looking for Garner, we thought to see Garner and all kind of shit these days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Garner dogs and these dogs today, like, I mean, you see them in great dogs. I mean, from my time, as far as I could come up, I've seen Garner dogs, and they're crossing them with Yellow. They're crossing them with Mayday. They're crossing them with Buck. They fitting in. They starting to catch on to the Bolio crosses and the Eli crosses that Garner's and Frisco stuff. I mean, when Tom go out there and get a dog and call the dog Garner's Champ Red Boy, what did that tell you? You take the damn dog and you breed it to a damn Garner dog, and this is where Ghetto and them come from. This is where Casanova and them come from. You feel what I'm saying? These are Tom Garner dogs, but these dogs got Red Boy in them. And they producing, you know what I mean? Shit. Turn around and look a little closer, you're gonna find that they taking the damn Garner dogs and they crossing them with the damn DSK dogs now. They taking DSK dogs and crossing them with Mayday dogs now. They taking the DSK stuff and they crossing into Bolio stuff now. Tight breedings. I would tell you what I would love to have. I would like to see a tight bred Queen of Heart bitch, or a tight bred dog bred like Pandy was. You know, somebody just took that line and did the old Earl Tudor, just kept it tight. Did the old Floyd Boudreaux and just took the shit and just kept it tight. That means when I look at this pedigree, when I look at it and I start going all the way back, I should be able to get back there and see Queen of Heart all up on the top and Queen of Heart all up on the bottom. So when I get way back here and start coming up to the front, I see that this man kept his shit, Queen of Heart, all the way up to I'll take that puppy.
Hey, we did a show and we had a couple, not this last show, but the show before the last. We did that. You know what I mean? How they had a lot of them brothers, sisters, and daughter back to father. And some people, you know, they frown on that shit. But the majority of the ones that I seen that done, it worked. Especially when the stud was worthy or the breeding was worthy. And you're trying to tighten it up. And then you get a chance to see once you tightened it up and now you ready for that out, you know, you're going to be able to see the results based on the product. And I think you got enough pedigrees to show that, Mo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a nice one to bring to the forefront because, you know, I'm one of them. I just believe just because you're old, you know, and things change don't mean that you couldn't do it again. Because there's a lot of people, you know, that went to their grave dealing with these dogs and they kept it the way they kept it because they believed in what they was doing. So I'm not a fan of the ones that just think it's impossible. No. I'm always going to say, you know, it's going to sure, well, you're not having to say nothing, the breeder or not. You shouldn't have to say nothing. The dog will speak for itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And that's where the reality going to come in all this conversation. It's don't matter who say what, how it's bred, what's on the damn paper. We wouldn't be talking about it if the dog wasn't worthy of being talked about. Period.
That's true.
All right, fellas. I need y'all to help me out here.
I was trying to bring this pedigree up that Sniper sent me.
Yeah, you want me to hit? You want me to do it? Or you got
it? It's 953167.
Hold on, let me get to this right quick. Okay, 953.
Yep, 167. It says nice combo breeding 2026 to 2027.
I'm just working on it now. Okay. Here we go.
Now, this is one of them kind of breeding where I told you start from up here in the front and then you go all the way back there to the back. And I guarantee you by the time you get back there, it's a clear understanding. You can almost see it right here in the front. Shady Days Wiley. You got Mighty Mode. And then when you look at the mild can't stuff, you look at the Bruce Stomper. Bruce Stomper, you know what I mean? Look how they bred. When you start going back there looking at that, man, I guarantee you it's going to be a formula. This is a line. This is a nice tight line breeding. Just by looking at it, I know where it's going towards the back. But this is the kind of shit that I say, start from where you at and then go back there to the back. Don't just stop right here at the first fall. Go all the way back because you can see that it's a close line breed based on how many times you see Wiley in there, Mighty Mo. That's the top half. Now, when you go down here to the bottom and you see all that Stomper and Dawes Light Stomper in the back, and you go back there, you already know these dogs are going to all line up. I just like to see it when it comes from the back to the front and it all, you know it's all a formula that it stayed tight all the way from back there up here. That's why you're looking at what you're looking at. It gives you more respect by coming back up to the front than trying to go from the front and work your way back. Because by doing that right there, then that means you don't understand the front. Understand the front where it is. Notice the main factors in it right there in the first floor. Then go back and come back up. Because one thing for damn sure, that the bottom is tight bred. The top is tight bred. Now my question is, do these two tight breedings, when I get back to in the back, are they going to still be the same line of dogs? Are these two that look different up here, are they going to come together back there and show me something even better? Like these are still the same line with just different dogs being used? Is it going to show me that? Oh, then I'm in the house. That's why you always want to go back and come up, because once you see what's back there and it's the same thing, but it looks so different up front, like it's two different things, but when you get back to the back, it's one whole thing, come back up to the front. That's what you call good breeding.
Yes, sir. Okay. That was Snipe. Oh, we could have went all the way back with this one, because you already see where it's coming from. I did the bottom. Let me do this top again. Do the bottom right there.
Yeah, y'all see that shit?
Okay, Snipe. I see you, fam.
Yeah,
I like that bottom, man. Yeah.
Man, I'm still up here with the. I'm up here on. I'm up here with the taser dog. Look how tight the taser dog is.
I don't see the taser dog. Where you at?
Yeah, the dog. He's the top. He's the sire.
I'm looking at the Mighty Mo. What you looking at, man?
I went to taser. See, Stop the Taser, aka 1010.
No. Do you see what's on the screen? Do you see it?
Hold on. I was just on the screen. Let me see. Oh, hold on. No, I missed all this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, look at the dog on the top. What's the name of the dog?
Sniper's D's Mighty Mo.
Oh, right. I'm talking about the name of the dog, the top.
Hold on. Sniper's Bear.
Oh, okay.
This is where we come from.
Yeah, that's where I was. See, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, we went into the top. That's where we got that from. We went
okay, yeah, that's where I'm at right there. Taser, look at that shit. And then the further back you go, look how much better it looks. You got double brand Mighty Mo at the bottom. All this shit still looking the same.
Okay. Okay.
And they're still keeping it tight. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Tell you what you now you that was taser. Now you do the same thing at the bottom with the mild can't shit with the boot stopper. You see it's the same shit. My question is where to go from here? Yeah. Let's see where Crystal goes.
I think I did that one too.
Wow. Now that's a tight cross. I see some DSK sneaking in there already. Look at that McFarland stuff. Top and bottom.
You see that Boogaloo dog is the littermate, the Wacko.
Mm-hmm. That's
Hey, you
Waco. I don't know. You gotta make sure
Waco.
that. Mm-hmm. I know Super Crackers and them, they have Waco. Hey, but I tell you what, Mike. You see the McFarland, Miss Yayo.
Yeah.
Pick up Miss Yayo. I want to see that McFarland stuff. Yeah, look what you're seeing. You got Emmett, Coachy. Now you're getting down into the dead serious shit, crossing it with the Boyle shit. See that dead serious Atlanta being bred to Emmett?
Yeah.
That's a brother and sister breeding right there. Yayo, brother and sister breed. Then you got Yayo being bred to Chewy. That's coming off of Coachy's bred to Atlanta. You see that shit, man? See, that's the kind of shit y'all supposed to sit back and study. Study that. You see where I'm going with it, though? And then you look at the bottom.
Let's see Yayo out there. You want me to go into that bottom down there?
Yeah, go to the McFarland breed. You know, where it got Senator and Jade. Yeah. Start down there with the breed itself. Because that bottom gonna look like the top. What I tell you? What I tell you though? What I tell you? Didn't I tell you the bottom's gonna look like the top?
Yeah. Great example right there, Pit Dog.
That's right. Look at that. You got Scooter and Emmett in Atlanta right down here again. You got Yayo and all that shit crossed with the DSK. This is the kind of breeding that you're supposed to study. If I'm gonna be breeding dogs in the days line of dogs, this is how I would be breeding my shit. I would go all the way to the back and work myself up to the front because it's clearly you can see back there they follow a trend. They kept to the formula all the way up to the front, where the front and the top don't look like it when you first click on it, but when you go back there to the back, all the way to the back where it makes sense and start coming up, you start noticing the front is the same thing, top and bottom. But how did you figure that out? Because you had to go back there in the back to go get it. You see,
that's a good breed right there.
That's a good breed. Yes, sir. Damn good breed. See, we could have did this earlier. We could have got a lot more people to do this and see if they really understood, you know? You don't have to have a bunch of great dogs because, you know, it's a different scenario now. You know what I'm saying, Mike?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing that I'm speaking on when I speak on guys and how they breed their dog in the now. and understanding how they breed their dogs. Yes, I still believe dogs aren't worth $1,000, $2,000 or $1,500 or $1,300, even when they're bred like that right there. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's nice and tight and close right there. You know, why would I ask? You know, those are good bred dogs, but if you look back there in the back, what changed from back there all the way up? A lot of color. It's still tight, top and bottom, ain't it?
Hold on, he want me to pull up that dog Zika. Here she go right here.
Yeah, when you go put, you know, you got full screen unless you're gonna put it back on share.
Yeah, it's coming. You should be able to see it now.
Mm-hmm. So when you look at that pedigree right there, you can see it, right? But if you click on Bulldozer, or if you click on Black Sadie, and you go further back, you're gonna see a whole bunch of color. Why you don't see a lot of color? Because that line was built off of that color. Those dogs.
I'm going after Sadie first. You remember you always says about the bitch. Here we go. You see it?
Yeah. Yeah, look at that back. Look at it. Yes, sir. You see how the color starting to change the further back you go? You know, you got Chop down there at the bottom. And then you got Banjo going to Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And you got the Emma stuff, which is going to be the Eli shit when you keep going back there. And if you go back far enough, the Chop and the DSK shit going to turn into the Eli shit.
Yeah, that's another good one to study. This is a nice pedigree right here. I mean, this pedigree right here basically telling you, because you know this is snipe shit, so you already know it's a bulldog. But it's just basically telling you know what to expect. This is one of them things that you know what to expect. I mean, I'm going in the bulldozer, man. Because that was Sadie. So you kind of got an idea what that's going to look like anyway. But I'm just take the fellas back there just to see. Okay, there you go.
Looking at.
Same thing. But you could almost expect that.
Right, top and bottom.
Top and bottom.
You go back to Yayo and go back one more. Go to Yayo and go back one more, because if you notice, Yayo and Chewy the same damn dogs anyway. But the color's gonna look even better.
Okay, that's Yayo right there.
Okay, look at that. Look at that. Look how different that pedigree looking. See what I'm saying? That's why I like dissecting it in the front. Then I'm going to the back. I go back as far as I can to see. You know what I mean? And then look what you see. Now you're getting where the bulldogs is. Now you're getting where the blood is. Now you're getting what's breaking that shit off up in the front. And you keeping it tight so you ain't really losing shit. You feel me? You see how this back looking? And you keeping it tight, top and bottom. You're not going to lose something. You're going to keep good dogs, bro. Especially when you're having litters. You know, when you're having litters like that, you picking and choosing what you breeding to keep it right. And remember, that pedigree, this is bulldozer shit here. And guarantee you the bottom looks like the same thing, man. That's how you keep your shit tight. You look at it and recognize it in the front, and then you just start going back. And then once you get back there, look what's back there. It's going to change. Look how dark it is up here. But you know what's back there in the back. You respect what you see in the front, because you've been back there in the back and you know what's in the back. It's a tight line cross.
Big shout out to my man Pit Dog. He understood the assignment. Way to go, Pit Dog.
It's a great study guide. That's a great study guide for breeding dogs for the day. That's how you take old dogs and make good dogs into day dogs.
Yes, sir. All right, fellas. Before we get out of here, don't forget to hit that like button. Please do not forget to hit that like button. I want to give a big shout out to everybody out there in the Shark Tank. Big shout out to all my people out there on the back street. Hey, man, y'all show me some love. Show me some love and give me some of them down. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Muscles, muscles, muscles. Now give your damn self some roses, roses. You need damn roses.
Come on, y'all, show the love.
Show yourself some love.
Now remember what we talked about tonight. So we know there ain't no whole bunch of great shit out there. There wasn't no great shit out there back there in the day. It still boiled down to how these people played their bitches to these males. And it's more evident. It's more evident today because look at how tonight and then was breeding the bottom to keep the bottom looking like the top. They took the bottom and went and bred the top and kept it tight. Not one generation, not two generations. We went down this 6, 7 generations back and brought it back up to the front and it stayed tight. The colors might have changed, but the colors are supposed to change through time, right, fellas? That's the key. You didn't change the dog, you just changing the color. Because you're definitely keeping the line of the blood. It's too tight not to. Good line breeding. Not heavy, gaudied up. Just nice, good cross. It's purified, a good line of dogs.
Hey, hold on. I know I got more than 3 people up in here. Y'all can't do no better than that. I wouldn't care if it was 1 rose, 1 muscle, 1 thumbs up. Come on now, fellas. Show some love. This don't cost you nothing. It's free. Trust me.
I guess I gotta start taking vacations. Everybody's starting to slack now.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody out there. We step out the showbiz for a minute and give them something else to look at. I guarantee you they'll appreciate this more.
Hey, but that was a great example the Snipe put up to Pit Dog put up there because we was just saying that. And I guarantee you, if you put your pedigrees up, you would see the same damn formula that he was damn near using. Just and be totally different dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's possible. Fellas, come on now. 1 rose, 1 muscle, 1 thumbs up. All of it's gonna be appreciated. Cause that's all we're looking for, some appreciation. That's a little bit, you know what I mean? Y'all see that little ticker down there. It's got the Cash App information. If you want to do it that way. But, for right now, enjoy the part that's free. And the part that's free, it don't cost you nothing. It's just a little couple tap, a little tap there on the keyboard. And believe me, something's better than that. Appreciate the love, K-Walk. I hear you, fam. Small time. As always, fam. Appreciate that, fam. And y'all don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. Before we get out of here, man, understand this, man. We always speak about the quality of the dog, okay? Consistency is a must. I think, that 5 champions, ROMs, out of all these years, that should tell y'all something. We ain't the ones sitting up here making this shit up now. Some people might get down and find things, but we just basing it off of the information that was given, given from many years of collecting data. But if you take and pay close attention to that, that should tell you how hard it is to do. You know, it should, to me, it should be even easier to do nowadays, considering, you know, that you don't have to go through the shit that we had to go through. Because some people, I mean, a lot of people that I know, including us, we was picky about what we fed. Them chain spots meant a lot back in the day for us. So it wasn't about just putting anything on the chain, man. And most of the good ones out there, you know, they was real serious about what they was feeding and what they was taking care of. And I think it should always be like that, because cream gonna always rise to the top. Appreciate that, J-Bo. Big shout out to my man J-Bo. I know that's you, fam. Big shout out to my man Robert Mack. Appreciate the love, fam. Look, fellas, I really appreciate y'all coming out. We're gonna revisit this situation, you know, simply because I know Friday is gonna be coming and Mo gonna be looking at that shit the Snipe just put up, and I know he gonna be like, damn, you know, that he just gonna show you know, that's what Snipe doing. He's showing some shit, and I can tell you the quality of the people that's doing it, it's more than just a handful. You know, so that's why you really got to pay attention to what y'all looking at on them papers and the people that was doing the breeding. I mean, that to me was the most important part of what Snipe was showing and what Mo been talking about. Them bitches, they do matter, but look at the people who's doing the breedings. You'll notice they taking them bitches and them bitches to some serious champion. And I seen some brother and sister breeds in there to tighten that shit up with what they had did. And you know, I ain't in the papers like Mo and Snipe is, but I know what I'm looking at, and I know what when I'm looking at it, it makes sense. I've seen enough of it, you know. So that's the, I mean, out of all things, gentlemen, there's a lot of things that's hard to do, even back in our day, and I think it's going to be even harder if you don't understand, you know, some type of plan, some type of format, some type of understanding, and that's all we doing. We ain't just talking about it. We actually showing y'all this is what it looked like. This is the reality of this big ass game that we was a part of, and we couldn't do no better than 5 champion bitches that became ROM. So that should tell you a lot, you know, if you just understand that part. Why? Might have been like us. Sometimes them bitches was too valuable to be trying to do anything with, but make them part of your breeding program. You know what I'm saying? Brood bitches, man, is the key. It's just a matter of why did you take that bitch to that male? We've said that from day one. Which one you trying to be? You know, and either one, regardless of which one you're trying to be, there's enough information that if you just get it, study it, and understand it, and then make it your own, you won't have to say nothing else, because the dog gonna speak for itself. And that's what really matters. This is history. So we already have the results based on this is history. You can show you. You can see for yourself. You've seen Chop and all them back there. It's just evident. Look at the people to breed. You got Malcan, you got DSK, you got Snipe. Look at the people that's doing it. Look at what McFarland was doing. So, fellas, that's a learning tool. And I just hope you're not just here to hear us talk. We really want y'all to not just sit here and listen to us talk, but after the show or sometime you get a chance and go back and just really look at that shit and try to pay attention to it enough to where you understand it, and try to just incorporate that way of thinking into what you're doing, because that's what's important. Actually, that's what matters. Let me see here. I think that's where we at, though. Hey, man, appreciate it again. Everybody put them thumbs up and all that shit. You know, I know it sounds petty, but yes, we do appreciate that shit. I like to see it because there ain't got to be no super chats. You know, it ain't got to be nothing but something as simple as putting up a damn rose and a thumb and a muscle. Because you got to understand, fellas, there has to be a reason why we keep coming back. And as long as y'all keep being the reason, and it's the little things that do matter. Remember, we deep into that pay attention to detail type of shit. And just little things like that mean a lot. Because the minute we don't show up, somebody going to be calling, hey, man, y'all all right? Y'all ain't going tonight? Something, y'all doing okay. And we don't want to get into that. We're in the 2026, and we're trying to actually, you're going to see a couple things changing up. But as far as the information, we speak on the history, so the information really ain't going to change. Because it's the information that we put out there for you to apply to what you do moving forward in the future. That's how it always worked. Remember, our history used to have a future before it became history. So there's a whole lot of that out there. Follow the plan. Make it your own. Not always about the money. It's about the quality of the product. Hey Mo, you got anything else to say, man, before I lock this out? Because you know what I'm fixing to do. You still there, Mo? He ain't there. He gone. Yeah, fell out. Let's see. Big shout out to my man Zebo. Appreciate the love, fam. All right, fellas. Again, like I always do when I say we'll be at the end. Hey, man, put your heart into it. Study it. Make it yours. And, once you get started, that's the thing. Once you get started in the right direction, don't become kennel blind. Be true to yourself. Be true to your yard. But always, remember, you got to always scratch the wind, because that's where the success going to come from. If you ain't going to have no cur in your yard, then don't be a cur. Find it in your heart. Put your best foot forward and let the rest speak for itself. Let me see here. S2W all day, baby. S2W all day. Let me see which way I'm going. You know what? I'm going to do it like this tonight. Huh. Yeah.
Going hard, Kennels, yeah, we run this yard. Twin bosses, Mo and Mike, every day they go hard. Line stack heavy like a deck full of cars. From yellow Mayday 8s, they bred real stars. Welcome to the yard where the legends get raised, where the chain spots shine and the bloodlines praise. Grand champ King Kunta with that royal type stride. Red ruby in the pen, red hot worldwide. The brat in the cut, keep the hustle on track. Pretty mama got the look and the structure intact. L-Ride bring the heat, yellow bird bring the flame. Gus and 38 special certified in the game. What day in the ring, crowd love in the scene. Dogs moving like ghosts in the champion's dream. From yellow to buck, their foundation is tough. Yellow buck in the veins, yeah, the roots run rough. Mayday in the pedigree, ace in the spine. That old school fire still alive in the line. Twin brothers in command, pushing forward with pride. Going hard on the banner, let the whole world ride. Hard work in the yard, every sunrise earned. Legacy in the dirt, with every chain spot turn. No shortcuts taken, no champions bought. Just blood, sweat, time, and the lessons they taught. Going hard, Kennels, yeah, we run this yard. Twin bosses, Mo and Mike, every day they go hard. Line stack heavy like a deck full of cards. Yellow Mayday ace turning pups into stars. Sheriff Pal bought us in the game, stamp legit. Find them in Tornadoes pedigree. Hall of Fame, double grand champion. James Pogay, the formula showed how to build and sustain. Blueprints in the blood, yeah, the knowledge remain. T.O. our partner, Ohio Cash showed how to win. Turn losses into lessons, now it's trophies we spin. Mama, Triple M, deep south in the mix. Arsenal, Kennel, Stone City, solid foundations, no tricks. Hardcore, BLB up in the spec is 6. Yes, yes. Time, Tony Wade, Southern Kennels, real ones through time from Pro Set, Windy City, combined in place, low type, apex, pressure built for the chase, gotta eat boys, black ice, hunger sharp as a blade, third verse for the legacy, every debt fully paid. Yeah, I said third verse for the legacy, every debt fully paid.
Better know my head, but don't talk about it, be about it. That's the code we live in the game with them pit bulls. See the proof and how to give from the pit to the trophies. Every chain, every game. Don't talk about it, be about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the code we live in the game with them pit bulls. See the proof and how to give from the pit to the trophies. Every chain, every game. Don't talk about it, be about it. Most wanted kennels in the spotlight, danger alert, come with the name. Super Kennels competition, all built for the fame. Work Kennels was the work and work, while Cherokee kept the game strong. Evolution built a bloodline, where the heart come from. These dogs ain't hype, they the truth in the pit. Every pedigree stamp, when them paws hit the street. Ain't no fairy tales, just that real y'all grit. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the pit bull script. Shout the brothers with the backbone thick. Veer brothers, color brothers, Bishop brothers legit. They don't talk about it, they be about it every day. Put the work in and y'all let the results say. Them boys on the rise, yeah, the circle stay tight. Plow boys, wall boys, Havana boys in the fight. Different flags, same grind, same fire, same spit. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the litmus test.
Legend of doom, behind set tone. Loctite, locked in, carved in stone. Church boys hold it with the pit bull gauge. Fruit colors on man, Sean B in the maze. Arsenal gang deal, but your knife stay sharp. Only in America, walk them down Ram in the dark. DSK and Metal, high dog, pound by hard. When they hit, praise to the men who rock this shit.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah, they live it.
Fat boy the legend, Bill Buster, real strong, Southern Bulldog, keep the bloodline long. Latin force pressure, sniper don't miss. Shaded day, shaded with a killer instinct. Twist, super night power, unit whole rank. Boot camp, click hitting like the Sherman tank. Little fine with the vision. Tennessee dog pound, got their eyes on the pit. All legendary, really the shit. Don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah, they built it brick by brick.
Talk about it, yeah, they built it brick by brick. Talk about it, yeah, they built it brick by brick. Talk about it, don't talk about it, be about it. Don't talk about it. That's the yard law, from the pups to the legends, everybody stand tall. Every name on this track got a story that's lit. Don't talk about it, be about it.
Every name on this track got a story that's lit.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Call this some legendary pit bull shit, 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 pit bull shit.
Yeah. It's Mo and Mike in the house.
Going hard with the legends. Paying homage, you know. Yo. Twins Mo and Mike, we running this game. Legends in the making, never gonna be the same. Kennels popping hard, these game dogs raised right. The brat, pretty mama, they shining so bright. LaMayday, what a day, they breed the heat. Red Ruby L-Rod, they can't accept defeat. With 38 special and yellow bird, we top tier. Champions, grand champions, ain't no fear.
Run the register of merit, we got the elite. Mayday bug Jeep, yellow Frisco, feel the beat. Females like Honeybunch and awesome, baby, we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk, be about it. We the real deal, you know it's no doubt about it.
KPTO, the modern Earl Tudor. Got in the pack, making moves like a tutor. APT, family thick, like legends in the game. Legend of them, Triple M. Shout out the name, Deep South, Roadblock. We upholding tradition. Mama, Southern Kennels, we got that ambition. Hardcore hitters, Stone City brings the fire. The Abrahams, the fam lifting us higher.
Run the register of merit, we got the elite. Mayday bug Jeep, yellow Frisco, feel the beat. Females like Honeybunch and awesome, baby, we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk, be about it. We the real deal, you know it's no doubt about it.
Listen up, respect the hustle, respect the grind. Being Nate Dogg, putting in work intertwined. Keeping that legendary status alive, you feel? Don't hate on the ride, catch the bus, we keep it real. What's history without a future? We pay the way, Captain. We make it happen, that's the play.
So here's to the champions, run the race, stand tall. Twins, Mo and Mike, we gon' answer the call. Legends in the game, yeah, we holding it down. In the world of game dogs, we wearing the crown.
Run the register, I'm married, we got the elite. Made a buck Jeep, yellow Frisco, feel the beat. Females like Honeybunch and awesome, maybe we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk, be about it. Be the real deal, you know it's true, no doubt about it.
Shout out to Ohio Cash, the man with the plan, Rastaman Boom, Schoolboy, aka the.
There's levels to this game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Rob.
Yeah, we in the trenches, feel that hunger in the air.
Yeah. Welcome to the yard. If you're tough, you can stare. Yeah, welcome to the yard. Where the chain spots shine, bloodlines run deep, every pedigree's prime. The game APBT, worldwide pride. You come correct or stay the hell outside, legacy made. We grind, we hustle. Twin bosses, Mo and Mike locked in the scuffle. Yeah, we run the yard, iron fists and grit. When the sun comes up, no, we never gon' quit. Udo and Zebo, legends carved in stone. Patrick Bolio made the yard they home. Tanned in yellow, they whisper through the trees. Echoes of greatness, feel that legacy breeze. Going hard. Yeah, we run this yard, nothing but the best. We don't play it soft, bloodline stack heavy, 52 waist strong in this dog-eat-dog world. We know where we belong, the yard where greatness prevail. Pressure creates knowledge and hard work. It's how history bakes, all on the fucking deal. Pressure creates knowledge and hard work. It's how history bakes.
Tails in the dirt, every chain spot turn, lessons learned hard. Like the scars we earn, no shortcuts taken. Champions ain't bought, just blood and sweat. This legacy taught from Mayday to Ace, Buck to Jeep. Every warrior counts, we ain't losing no sleep. Heat like a furnace, knowledge is the key. In the yard we trust, we got the pedigree. Feel the intensity, blaze in the fight. In the shadows of the yard, we rewrite the night. From the ring to the chain, we like kings cut out. Mo and Mike, every victory's what we shout. Going hard. Yeah, we run this yard, nothing but the best. We don't play it soft, bloodline stacked heavy, 52 waist strong in this dog-eat-dog world. We know where we belong, the yard in the dirt. Yeah, knowledge and hard work. It's how history bakes. Yard in the dirt. Yeah, knowledge and hard work. It's how history bakes. Yeah, legacy in the dirt. Yeah, to that fame. The game APBT. Remember the name, so step back. If you can't handle the heat, the yard's going hard. Put the game on repeat, it's Mo and Mike. Kings in this game, going hard. Kennels, forever ain't the same, nigga.